Very genuine guy.
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
Yo, you know how we do. This ain't no zoo, but we wildin' out like Lions crew. One ass cheek, 3 toes. That's the motto. OAC3T podcast. Let's get to it pronto. Got slinging that pitch, getting tight, spiral in the air. St. Brown making moves, leaving defenders in despair. Monty running through the D, breaking tackles all the way. Hutch on the hunt, ain't no escaping the day. One ass cheek, 3 toes. We coming for the throne. Detroit Lions roar, ain't no stopping our zone. From Ford Field to the streets, we represent the pride. One ass cheek, 3 toes. We on the ride.
Welcome back, y'all. It's been a couple of 2-week hiatus. This is the One Ass Cheek and 3 Toes show. I got my fellas here. I am your host, Nate the Great, and I got Mr. B. TRILLA and Mr. J. Fellas, how you doing?
I'm good, man.
Good.
Great.
Good.
Great, man.
I think I saw the update. It is officially 5 Sundays from the NFL season. I think, is that correct? 5 Sundays. The drought's over, fellas. Great. We have survived. Congratulations. Yeah, this is not B's time. B's like
This training camp. Then you're done that.
But there's football Thursday. I don't give a shit what anybody says. There is football Thursday. There is actual hitting.
Hooker time.
Be some hooker time. There's gonna be some mullet time. Some nasty time.
Right, there you go.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today.
A lot of time.
Fellas, it's great to see y'all. Right? I know it's like grasping at those straws through the season, man. Just trying to make it through to the full season. But anyways, it's great to see y'all. We got a lot to talk about today, so we're just gonna dive into it. First and foremost, Mr. J, what kind of news you got for us today?
Yes, sir. So I got some news, man. I don't know if everybody's been following it, but Shamar Stewart, the rookie for the Cincinnati Bengals, officially signed a 4-year, fully guaranteed contract, $18.97 million. I just want to know, do you think the Bengals are making a mistake with this kid? I just got to ask y'all to know.
Go ahead, B. I'll let you go first.
I mean, you drafted him, so obviously you like some qualities about him. I don't think that ball should be in that part of the court. I think it should be in Shamar Stewart's court. You up here, you did all this hooping and hollering through the first part of your, first week of your training camp and held out because of your contract stipulations, which, okay, I understand to a degree. But you better show your ass when you start playing in the NFL. I'm not talking about training camp and preseason. I'm talking about once you get to play the real games, you better show your ass because that's why you got and Cincinnati. We all know Cincinnati is doing stuff the wrong way half the time. I don't know what's going on with these schools and these teams in Ohio. That must be the water they're drinking. But anyway, it's just so Cincinnati's not at the top of their game, but at the same time, you gave the guy what he wants, so let him go out there and prove you should have done that in the first place. That's
absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you. B. And not to mention the pressure is even going to be more on him if Hendricks holds out more. If Hendricks holds out, let's say holds out a couple of games into the regular season, which is very possible. He seems like this is could get drawn out for a while. Shamar's going to be asked to do a lot more as a rookie because that defense is leaking in a lot of areas. And if Shamar is either going to be coming out of the gates hot or it's going to be cold. And it's going to be rough because, you already kind of see frustration with Joe Burrow. I don't know if y'all saw a couple of his pressers recently, but you can tell he's getting tired of having to answer these questions about holdouts, Shamar Stewart and all that. You can tell it's kind of waning on him. And so, it's going to be a long season for the Bengals if Shamar struggles and Hendricks holds out, because that defense was already bad with a good Hendricks on that team.
Absolutely.
And Shamar was kind of, even though he's my boy from A&M, gig him, he definitely underperformed in A&M. He's got the talent. He's got the talent to be a really good player, but we haven't seen it on tape.
Yeah, I agree. If you're a rookie, you coming in, you're trying to make a name for yourself in the NFL. not try to get fully guaranteed contracts. We understand the money is important. You want to be taken care of, but you got to first show you belong in the NFL. What you did in college no longer matters. It's about what you're going to do from day one.
You got the dollars. It's time to show up, like B said.
Exactly.
He said it best.
100%. Yeah. So let's see how that works out. But another topic I got, Rashawn Slater dethroned Tristan Wirfs as the highest paid offensive lineman. He just signed a 4-year, $114 million extension with 92 guaranteed, and that makes him the highest NFL lineman paid ever, confirmed by the Chargers. What you guys think about that? So that's over Tristan Wirfs, Penei Sewell, Darisaw, just among some of the best. What do you guys think about that?
I think, honestly, it just shows that deal for Penei Sewell is even better of a deal now, because Penei Sewell is better than Rashawn Slater. He's better than Tristan Wirfs. He is the best tackle in the NFL. I don't care what anybody says. Like, the guy is so good. And the fact is that now he's not even the highest paid. That's a steal now. Mm-hmm. Because literally in 2 years, when Williams retires, Penei will be the best tackle in the game. He already is almost the best tackle in the game.
So Robbie.
He will be the
so
best.
Robbie. Yeah.
What's up, man? So that's a steal. And I didn't know he got that new deal. So that's man, Harbaugh, they just drafted Alt the year before. And they are really solidifying their book in tackle.
Yeah.
So that's Harbaugh fashion right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it's market value. This is what this is all about. I don't think Slater is better than Penei Sewell or Tristan Wirfs, but at the same time, he is a solid tackle. So, I mean, you get paid whatever the market's worth at the time. And
do y'all remember when they said that they were better than Penei Sewell? Like, there was that whole argument that Slater was better than Sewell, and really, if you look at the stats and all that, Sewell was so much better than him. I don't know where that came out of, the fact that Slater was better. It just I like Tristan Wirfs too. I think he's a very good tackle. Wirfs a solid tackle, no doubt.
I think it's like 1A and 1B with Tristan Wirfs and Sewell, because they both are spectacular when they do that. So when they're out there, so yeah.
Yep, and they need that guy. They need him. Look, they need him to keep Justin Herbert healthy. I mean, you got Najee Harris over there. You got R.J. Hampton. That's going to be.
They've got two of the best tackles, up and coming tackles in that team. Yeah,
that wants to run the ball. They're going to line up and play smash mouth football. And who else better to have than Slater sitting right there protecting your guys? I think it's a good move for the Chargers. I think Jim Harbaugh and that front office has come together and really found an identity for that team, and I think that they're really made it ready to make.
Let me answer Steve-O's question. Yeah, Steve-O, what I meant to say is that Penei is the best tackle right now, but according to a lot of people that watch the NFL, that are analysts and all that, they still put Penei like 3 or 4, because they put Williams, some people have put Slater, some people put Wirfs and all that. I'm just saying, by 2 years, Penei will be by everybody's standards.
Mm-hmm. And really quick, I want to also say this. So at Dallas Cowboys training camp, apparently some fans were chanting "Pay Micah Parsons" during their practice, and Jerry Jones came out and said, it doesn't change really anything we want to do. We want to pay Micah Parsons, but Micah Parsons has to want to get paid. What do you guys think he mean by that? Micah Parsons has to want to get paid.
It's Jerry Jones. I'm not going nowhere with this one, because Jerry Jones is old and he's a fool right now. I mean, first of all, he threw Dak under the bus in the same sentence when he was talking about paying players. He said that Dak is only good for 2/3 of the season, and dude, you can't go out there and say stuff about your players like that. And at least Dak got paid, but then when you're putting it on Micah Parsons, and then Micah Parsons is like, dude, we could have been done with this. Why are you waiting this long to pay? See, this is what I'm talking about, Jerry Jones. I really do think that he does stuff intentionally just to put the star out there in the media. That's all. He wants to keep it relevant all the way through training camp. Like, well, we're going to make sure, the star is out there. I give him credit for that, but at the same time, you're parlaying your players. You know what I'm saying? So
it's crazy. I look at it like this. I mean, everybody's on that team getting paid besides Micah Parsons. And with him making that comment, kind of raised an eyebrow to say, what are their relationships like? What's their relationship like behind closed doors?
Yeah.
And it's a shame that I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan. Let's put it out there. But it's a shame that they went from America's team to America's worst nightmare. It's just like, you bring them up.
It's America's team to hate.
It's like diarrhea, man. Like every time you hear the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones talk, it's like diarrhea. So, I mean, hey, best of luck to Micah Parsons. Hopefully he gets paid and hopefully he can get out on the football field and perform like he can. Mm-hmm. But
to piggyback on what B said, I heard the best quote about Jerry Jones from Adam Schefter, NFL Insider. He says he compares him to Barnum and I get his name right. B.T. Barnum, the guy from Barnum and Bailey.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you, or agree with what he said, because Barnum and Bailey was the guy who created the circus. And the circus is about marketing, putting things out there of unusual whatever. And that's what Jerry Jones is. Jerry Jones is a circus ringmaster. And he wants his team out in the open, everybody talking about the Cowboys. Like when he made that comment about how, he regretted paying Dak because Dak got hurt, and he was going to be not sure if he wants to pay Micah the same way because of what happened with Dak. That pretty much was big news on talk radio for the whole week. Like he gave him headlines to talk about. And the thing is with Micah, like he wants $40-something million a year. He wants to exceed what TJ Watt is getting paid now. Mm-hmm. And I've gone on record and said this many a times, I would trade Micah Parsons because I don't think that you can afford to pay your quarterback top dollar, your receivers top dollar, and you're in a division where you're the third best team right now. Like you've got to get more draft picks. You got to get more talent on that team. And to pay Micah, you still might be the third best team in that conference, in that division. So, I mean, why not sell him while he's high and get a whole ransom for it? But it's Dallas. They'll probably overpay him. And then you'll be stuck with 4 players paying max dollar to, and you're going to have to fill your rest of your roster out with all these cheap players. So good luck.
And to Brent's point, he's asking a question of how much did Jerry waste by dragging us out. He wasted a lot. I mean, really, let's just be honest. I mean, I think Micah Parsons is very loyal to that team, and he would have got market value at the time before they paid Myles Garrett, before they paid Max Crosby. And, I mean, I really think that he's going to be amongst the highest – he's going to be the highest paid edge rusher in the league because that's what he's going to want. That's what he's going to want to demand. And the longer you wait, the more the price is going to go up. And it's easier to get it out of the way before training camp, before the season starts, because if you remember last year when Dak got his extension, it was at the beginning, middle of the season, and he got that contract extension, then went out and got hurt. You don't want any distractions out there. You don't want any murmurs, any distractions out there. And I think it's just hard to pick him now. But this is Dallas. I mean, we're talking about Dallas.
Go ahead, B.
Yeah, he already cost him because TJ Watt already signed. That's
what I was saying. TJ Watt deal pretty much screwed him over because now he got $40 million. He got $40 million. So Mike is going to want more than that.
And then on top of that, you got Hendrickson still wanting to get paid. You got Aiden Hutchinson still out there wanting to get paid. So it's going to be a step ladder. So I don't know how much this is going to cost Jerry.
And we had been waiting for that first domino to fall with a pass rusher who was going to get that $40 million payday, and that was TJ Watt. Now it's all going to trickle down to who's next in the pecking order.
Yeah, I had this talk with Michael Tipton on his show, and he thinks that Jerry's going to pay whatever anyway because he's just Jerry Jones. But I'm saying, is that a lucrative businessman move, though?
No.
I mean, wouldn't you want to keep your costs low for your operation? That's what I'm trying. I don't understand that whole situation.
That's Jerry Jones and his ego. That's exactly.
I think also too about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is about the dollars, man. He's about the dollars and the marketing and the eyes that's on his team. He doesn't care. He doesn't care necessarily about the wins. You know, because whenever you listen to him talk about his team and why he bought the team and all that, and how he gave his blood, sweat, and tears to it, you never hear him say we're championships. He's just like, I bought this team. I've danced with the devil financially. That was one of his quotes.
I don't know if he's about the dollars, just only because
no, he's all about the dollars, bro.
Look, the media is ruthless in Dallas, in Texas, period. Whenever it comes to sports, and you think every Sunday when he out there getting his behind kicked on Sundays that he want to be probed by the media, going on radio shows, having to explain why they're.
He loves to do that. That's the problem with him is he loves to open his mouth.
Can't win the division, and why it's been 30 years since their last Super Bowl. I think that he's about the wins. I think he's just going about it in the way, and his ego is stepping in the way of him actually making better deals, doing the right thing.
And also too, Jay, he's already won his championships. Yes, they were when we had VHSs, okay, but he still won his championships. He still has that on his resume.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about the Lions. Who cares if the Lions had won a championship in the 90s? Who gives a shit? They won a championship. We can be in that talk. So he's won his championships. He's had his dynasty. It's just he's obsolete now because he's too stuck in his ways. And the reality is that his business does not work in today's modern NFL, period.
No, you're right.
You know, he's actually becoming like William Clay Ford was. He don't care about wins and losses, putting asses in the seats. That's all he cares about.
Exactly. Yeah, he's all about the marketing, the dollars. Exactly. Absolutely. He cares more about his brand. He cares more about his brand. That's what he cares about.
So I'm going to close it out with this, fellas. We spent a lot of time on the news, but we officially have 4 days left until the Hall of Fame game. Now, I know it's just a little preseason game. We won't see much, but it gives us a sense that football is back, right? So what do you guys want to see from the game? What are some of your expectations of the game? Give me some of your expectations.
Go ahead, B.
I would say just no injuries.
Yeah, that's the first one. Yeah, health first and foremost. Absolutely.
Number one, man.
Yes.
No injuries, man. I agree. You know, I just want to see a Lions team, and I know these are the backup guys, but some of those players that's going to play Thursday, they will be on the team. Some of those players will be on the team. I want to see how good they are. I want to see what you got. You know, I think Dan Campbell said it best in one of his pressers. He's like, hey, if you coming in here as an undrafted rookie or somebody we picked up in free agency, we want to see how you do. Even if it's special teams. If you can play there, you got a spot on this team. So I just want to see good football, man. I missed it so much. It's been so long.
Yeah. I would add to that. For me, I want to see both lines. I want to see the offensive line. I want to see the defensive line. I want to see getting pressure. I want to see protecting the quarterback. I want to see our quarterbacks fighting for backup positions with Kyle Allen and Hooker. And I want to see our rookies. According to Dan, our rookies are going to play in the game, which is great. I want to see those rookies really kick some ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen the hammer. Yeah, the big hammer.
Yeah, Hassan
absolutely.
I heard he's imitating Aiden Hutchinson quite a bit. So
imitating is a light word. I think he's stalking Aiden Hutchinson. It really sounds like he's probably got one of those little plush dolls with Aiden Hutchinson's picture on it.
If he could be half of Aiden Hutchinson, that'd be a win for the Lions.
Well, that's a hell of a guy to follow. Just like Amon-Ra, J-Mo follows Amon-Ra. You know, Lovett follows Amon-Ra. Like
I like it. I guess the hammer is going to be his name, but I like the assassin. Sorry, that's just me.
Hey, I like that. The assassin.
The assassin, the hammer. Either way, it's going to be fun. What's going on?
Hey, Sonia.
All right. Well, on that note.
That's it.
Yeah. They sound even out.
He ain't shit.
Well, considering what their wide receiver room is right now for San Francisco,
they got Juwan Jennings and Pearsall.
Well, Pearsall just came off the pup. He just said that, but they got Ayuk. They don't know what timeline.
Well, they got Ayuk. I forgot Ayuk. Yeah,
and Juwan Jennings. We don't know what's going on with him either.
He could have some game. That's not a bad little spot for him to land.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jay. Well, thank you for that. We're gonna go ahead and hop into training camp, y'all. I mean, Jay kind of highlighted. Oh, there it is. Wait, Justin Jefferson
today,
or Justin
no,
Jefferson or JJ
Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings. He's been practicing.
Yo,
you
gotta specify that, bro. You gotta specify that.
Yeah, JJ about to have a heart attack. Assassin. Yeah. All right. Well, y'all, training camp is here, like Jay said. We're 4 days away from the Hall of Fame game. Our boys have been in pads, literally tearing each other's heads off before pads. Real quick, just tell me, y'all played football. Tell me, like, what's the mentality like to get into pads for the first time in the season?
Man, to me, it's like a sense of like, just like, man, like you get adrenaline. Like for me, I got an adrenaline rush. I couldn't wait to get out there and play. I couldn't wait to hit. I just felt like myself again. I felt like that I was that animal that I wanted to be all year that I wasn't. That's what it felt like for me.
What about you, B?
I think it's good for them, to stop playing in their pajamas, and actually get paid. Because when you put your pads on, when you put some pads on, it's not really about all that. It's always this is what your true self is when you're out in the field. When you're in your pajamas, you can move freer. Yeah, you can swing a little freer. You know what I'm saying? But when you got pads on. When you got pads on,
keep them in hold.
It slows you down. It slows you down a little bit, or whatever it does. It makes you a bigger presence, or it makes you brings you back down to the life size.
Yeah.
For NFL play, and that's when you know what your true self is when you're out there playing in pads. Other than that, I mean, again, it's training camp. So it's just like this whole thing we have about quarterbacks throwing interceptions and stuff. This is what quarterbacks do. I don't care if my quarterback throws 30 interceptions, because what he's trying to do is trying to learn how to put that ball in the place to get that ball right to the receiver. That's what he's doing. He's going to take chances in training camp that he's not going to take in the regular season, obviously. So
what were you all surprised that the Lions were so physical without the pads? Did that surprise you at all? Like the way they came into camp, and really a lot of the injuries were before pads, which is shocking. You really don't want to see that without the pads on, but these guys are ready to bust some ass. Like, what are y'all's thoughts on that?
I mean, I do think that sometimes when we see the injuries that you see somebody say, hey, my calf may be a little sore, or my ankle is a little bit sore. I do think that quite often the injuries get exaggerated. I think the injuries, and we are so prone to think that when we see injury that we're like, oh my God, worst case scenario. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way. I think that it's just soreness that you see from running, kind of moving like you are in pads and just kind of getting the feel for it again. I kind of think the injuries are a little bit exaggerated, but I mean, now if you see somebody getting carted off the field, or hey, they didn't come out of the locker room, then you could worry a little bit. But other than that, I mean, if somebody stubbed their toe or twisted an ankle or something like that, man, I'm not too worried.
Let me tell you something. A lot of these injuries are occurred because a lot of these players, and I'm just going to say, a lot of these players do not do their off-season workouts. They're lazy as F about that. And they need to stop doing that, because this is where a lot of injuries occur. When you play football, professional football, you have to be on your game 24/7, 365 days. You can't take vacations. In fact, I remember I watched a show, I think it was on quarterbacks, actually. One of the quarterbacks, I think it was Joe Burrow, saying that you can't take a day off. You can't go out and go to Costa Rica or something like that and take a day. You got to keep playing, and you got to keep that mentality up of working out and getting your body fit and everything like that, because the season is long, first of all, and then you just got to keep your body fit. And a lot of these football players don't do that.
And not only that, too, B. I think that you do see players step away from the game, but it's usually right after the season's over.
Think so.
You know, like that's the part where they go with their family, they get away from football, they escape. But when they get back from that trip or wherever they are, that's when they start training again. Because you're right, when you're a professional athlete, you have to be training all the time. Like you've got to be eating well. You can't just show up to camp and say, "Oh, I'm going to start losing weight." No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You have to develop these good habits during the off season and leads into the regular season, you know, and I do think that is a big issue because, you know, everybody wants to blame the staff and what's going on with strength and conditioning coaches. It's not their responsibility to get you in shape when they're not around. It's your ass's responsibility to get in the gym, eat well, exercise, work out your legs, all that stuff to get ready for football. Simple as that.
Dan Campbell has alluded to that a couple of times in his presser. If you ever read between the lines of what he's talking about, he says some guys come here in shape, and he goes, and there's other guys, you know, they don't come in here in the greatest shape. That's because they haven't done their off-season workouts or anything like that. They just come in there, they take the 3 months off, and they get back in there, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go back into it. You can't do that. Your body is programmed a certain way when you do that. When you're in the NFL, your body is programmed to keep going.
Look at Tom Brady. Perfect example. Look at Tom Brady.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he was talking about cutting certain things out of his diet as he got older and how it made him feel better. He actually, if you look at when he first ran the 40 in the combine, when he first got drafted, he was faster at age 43, 44 than he was when he was 21, 22 years old. Yeah. You know, and it all is a part of he carry yourself throughout the off.
He's addicted to working out. He's addicted to being great. You know, people want to give LeBron a lot of shit, but LeBron is addicted to being great and working out year in, year out. That's why he can play 22 seasons, you know.
Absolutely.
But even look at our players that are in house. I mean, J-Mo looks a lot bigger. Like he doesn't look like the skin bean that he looked like when he first got drafted. He looks a little bit more bigger. Jack looks stacked. I mean, Aiden looks a lot bigger too. Like these dudes that really want to be great at what they do, they're coming into camp ready to go. They're beefed up. They're ready to hit somebody, you know. And I think for the most part, I think most of the Lions have all came in pretty good shape. I really haven't heard anybody that doesn't look in shape. I don't know.
Well, I'm not talking about in shape. This is how injuries occur, though, when you don't do your off-season workouts. And if you don't do your off-season workouts, you're more prone to being injured, even if you're in your pajamas. You know what I'm saying? Making simple cuts. It's kind of like watching Amon St. Brown. Amon St. Brown had some major surgery done on his leg.
He had some knee cleanups.
Knee cleanups and stuff like that. But he's been out there. Aiden Hutchinson, who, I mean – He went out with that that leg injury. He's been working out every day. Jared Goff does that every day too. He's another one. Your star player should be setting the example for you. Penei Sewell. I mean, none of these players are getting hurt. You don't see them getting hurt at all.
Let me play devil's advocate for a sec. Like guy like Aiden, who is coming off a very gruesome injury, broke his freaking leg. Is there a sense of overworking yourself? Or do you think that he has that mentality to know that, hey, I probably could go another rep, but it's probably best that I don't because it's a long season, like you said. And, you know, you're going to have situations where people are going to roll up on you. They're going to come up on you. Like, is it wise to be a little bit more cautious in training camp? Or do you think, like, if you're good to go, it's balls to the wall? Like pre-injury, who gives a fuck?
Balls to the wall. And why I'm going to say that in Aiden Hutchinson's perspective is because, one, his dad is a orthopedic surgeon, so he knows the limitations of what his sons, can and can't do. And on top of that, he had an injury that literally, it was like a freak accident, right?
No, it was a clean break
cartilage, too. No ligament damage, no anything. It was just like a clean break, and bones can heal. So in fact, that leg may be a little bit more stronger than what it was before.
He's alluded to that. He said that he thinks he's stronger than he was pre-injury, which is crazy to think that.
So, with that being said, I mean, go out there, balls to the wall. I mean, he was sitting on the couch for 6 months. He's eager to get out there and show what he wants. it'll be no reward, especially as an athlete. I know B can relate to this as well. Especially as an athlete, there's no reward by setting limitations on yourself because you're scared, right? Mm-hmm. Especially a guy like Hutchinson. He could die on that field. I mean, pray to God he don't, but he would die on that field if he has to. You know,
he really wanted to come back for that Super Bowl run.
Exactly.
He really did.
That been said, go balls to the wall, man.
What do you think, B?
Yeah, I agree with Jay. I mean, you got to. As long as you're taking care of your body, you need to put it all on the line because you got to do that to go to the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. And I know every team in the NFL, their destination is the Super Bowl. That's where they want to be at the end of the year. But in reality, only 30. One team out of 32 is going to be the Super Bowl winner. Exactly. So, and I mean, I think the Lions are in very good position in the last 2 years at least, to be in that position to get to the Super Bowl. Just hasn't happened for them. But I mean, they're always hungry. As long as they stay hungry, they stay focused, they stay fit. We get the injury bug out of the defense. We'll be fine. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like I agree. Said, balls to the wall. Period.
All right. Period. Y'all have seen a myriad of videos I've sent y'all of all the players. So I'm sure you've watched a lot of clips that they've shown in the training camp. I know to be chagrin, but like, what are y'all takes, or what caught your ear or caught your eye that you've seen so far of training camp?
I'm gonna say, my bad. You gonna go B?
Either one.
No, you can go ahead because I'm gathering my thoughts.
I'm gonna say right now, it's Isaac TRILLA.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying it's Isaac TRILLA is because they're making it a point of highlighting his things that he's done in practice, and that's for anybody, including myself, who had doubts when they picked him up. They gave up 3 third-round picks to get that guy, and you see him out there actually making plays. So that just kind of lets me know that he's putting in the work. Dan Campbell is very high on that guy, coaching staff. So that was one thing that caught my eye.
Yeah, TRILLA can play, man. I watch a lot of SEC football because being down here in Texas, I watch a lot of Arkansas football, and TRILLA really jumped off the charts with his separation, his route running, and his high point of the ball. Like he's a tall dude. Like if you watch him in interviews, he's like a legit 6'4" receiver. Like I definitely think that he will be Tim Patrick's replacement whenever Tim Patrick's, if they want to bring him back next year or not, depending on how he does well this year, he's going to be that big body receiver, that X receiver that they've been wanting for a long time. I think it's interesting too, because he's not really playing with Goff. He's more playing with Hooker or Kyle Allen. So, the balls aren't the greatest that they're throwing. Like you saw that one that he made that he literally took the ball away from that receiver. That's a terrible ball.
Yeah.
Because you're 6'4" and you're throwing right at the belly of the receiver. Like, dude, you got to high point that shit,
Yes.
So just imagine when he plays with a guy like Goff, who knows how to high point the ball and get his receivers in the best position. Like this guy really could shine. Mm-hmm. But go ahead, B.
Yeah, I haven't really seen anything that stood out to me. I think the cornerback play is a lot better. Mm-hmm. I think they're priding themselves a lot on that right now.
Yeah, they're real sticky.
The guy that they got from the Chargers, DiCaprio Boodle, that was a guy that Tesla took the ball away from, by the way, on that play. Oh, okay. He was the guy on that play.
Gotcha.
And so, I do see little things that the secondary playing with a lot more thump, and they're really hype about when they make interceptions during training camp. Like okay, whatever. But again, it's a combination of the quarterback trying to fit the ball in there, or the receiver not playing all the way at 100%. So it's a lot of things, but I do see that the secondary is stepping their game up. They are trying to really get themselves in the position. And I haven't seen too many plays. I've seen DJ Reed in a couple of plays, but I haven't seen him be the focal point. It's more like Kirby and is it Bottle or is it Boodle? Boodle, DiCaprio, Boodle, Bottle, whatever his name is. His last name is. That guy's he's doing pretty good too, actually. Being just coming from the Chargers, I mean, he's doing pretty good. So that's what I see.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the secondary, Meek's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think when it comes to the secondary, you know, when you watch some of the tape, like they're literally right there to make the play. Like the balls that Goff is throwing are right on target because literally he's dropping them right in the basket. And literally if it's BB or if it's Terrian, they're literally right there to make the play. It's just the placement of the ball by Goff is just pristine, you know? And I'm excited for the secondary. Like I tell you, man, people are really high on BB this year. And I am too, because I thought BB had a very down sophomore slump kind of. You know, he still played well. Like he just didn't play to the level that we expected him his rookie year to play because he was on trajectory his rookie year to be a freaking all pro. You know, and then he kind of had a little
last year.
Right, but he was suspect at times. You know, he had his moments, and then he got got in his head with the personal fouls and all that. But
how about I think argue this with you, Nate? Reason that it may have seemed that way is because he wasn't playing with the guys he was used to playing with. He was used to playing with me, you know what I'm saying? Brian was out there. Like, he was used to playing with those guys. You know, you got to understand that he didn't have his linebackers the whole year to cover certain spots that he may have been expecting them to.
And he was also playing safety full time last year too. Right. He wasn't really playing.
That's the bigger point.
The league kind of softened our secondary because we in Terry and Arnold were all rookies. He was leading in penalties. We got aggressive. They will call flags. I mean, I've never seen anybody get ejected for unsportsmanlike conduct. Was it?
Yeah, but BB can't put himself in that position, man. He can't do that.
I agree, but they made it a point to soften the Detroit Lions secondary. Whenever you feel like you got handsy, they like, oh, well, see, he's getting handsy.
You got to remember the year before, Kirby was taking people's knees out, according to what they were saying. So they had him on alert for sure.
And on top of that, he wasn't playing with the guys he's used to playing with. He had to cover a lot more ground as a defensive back than he's used to. I
still thought he had a solid year. He just wasn't the BB I saw of his rookie year. Like, I thought he'd take a little step back.
The change in position is everything.
Yeah.
It really, that's expected. And Jay, to tell you, it really doesn't really make a difference with the people on the field because when he was playing the slot corner, he was all over the field then. And you know, we had a worse defense than we do now. So I think it's just the difference of the position. From going from slot to safety, and he has to come up and make plays instead of plays coming to him, and that's what was happening in his rookie year. Plays were coming to him, so he was able to make better plays. And no, he didn't have a bad year. He just wasn't.
He wasn't as impactful as he was.
Kirby just overshadowed him. I just put it to you that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is not a bad thing. I mean, they're both good. You know. To answer Brent's question, I don't think Tesla is going to play at all unless there's an injury with the big three, whether it's Williams, Amara, Raymond. I don't think, or Patrick. I don't think that he cracks that rotation unless one of those dudes goes down.
That kid is going to play.
Yeah, he's going to play.
He's going to play.
A 6'4" receiver with speed. Yeah,
but that's Tim Patrick.
Well, I mean, he'll interchange with Tim Patrick. That's what I'm saying. Tim Patrick will get some playing time, and Telsa will get some playing time.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll tell you all for me what really stood out is I love watching the O-line D-line battles. Like watching Aiden and Panay go at it all the time. That is the definition of iron sharpens iron. Because literally you have two all-pros and arguably top 5 in their positions right now in the NFL. And they are just battling. Like Aiden with the swim move, Aiden with the spin move. I mean, he's got the best of Panay a couple of times, but hey, Panay's human, man. He's going to give up some at times, you know. But when it's in the regular season, that's what matters. And I love the spin move I'm seeing from Aiden. Like, if he can perfect that spin move, he's going to sack a lot of quarterbacks.
Already perfect. It's already perfect.
I mean, shit. It looks like it looked like Dwight Freeney when I was watching it, man. You remember Dwight Freeney?
Yeah.
Dwight Freeney had one of the best spin moves ever, man. He would spin right into the quarterback and sack his ass. But watching those two dudes go at it, and I've actually read that Mahogany has been doing well against Tyleik Williams. Like, those to me are the battles to watch, because at the end of the day, if your O-line and D-line are battling and you're juking back and forth, that's only going to make your lines better and stronger. And so that to me is what I've really caught my eye on. But I mean, anything that you would say is concerning right now?
One thing I'm going to say that's concerning is just I have to think about that one because.
Okay. Do you got anything concerning right now?
I can say for sure that's concerning is like still we know the amount of injuries that they're dealing with, right? Like obviously Lee McNeil, 3 days off for the season. I think that really that's the only concerning thing going into the season is how many injured players we still have on the pup list, and you know how long are they going to be out for? That's my only concern.
Okay. Be anything
That's a
concerning?
pretty good segue into this what Robbie just said here. But Robbie, I don't know where Justina got this report from because it had nothing to do with an incident with a teammate. The dude did not participate, did not heal up like he was supposed to.
Foot injury.
He felt on an injury, and that's why he got released, and that's why he's not getting any money.
He was training. He was training outside of the thing.
I don't know where she's getting that information. There's too many people that reported that. So she's the first one I've ever heard that kind of.
And usually when somebody gets cut, they like to definitely throw the crap at them, you know, like to make it seem like, oh, you shouldn't take this player because he's a bad case or he's a head case, you know what I'm saying? Like they'll fabricate some situation. I haven't heard that either. That's new to me. Christina Anderson's pretty well known in the NFL circle, so she might know something that people don't know. I don't know.
That's surprising for her to actually report that. That's actually pretty surprising.
Yeah. And, yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I really do think the Lions need to make a move to add somebody to the roster, defensive tackle or defensive end, either one. I don't care because I don't think there's enough solidity there on the line right now. I'm kind of shaky on that. It's the same thing with the offensive line too. We'll see how it plays out when they get into the regular season, huh?
I think the offensive line has a lot of depth. We just don't know how good that depth is.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, you could always. You got to remember, we got.
I mean, I'm with you on the D-line part. I mean, you can always add another piece.
Probably can get another D-line and another O-line that's a veteran, Sheffer.
Well, they added that guy from Arizona, right?
Rory Lopez.
The guard.
Rory Lopez. Oh, that would be Rory Lopez.
Probably Robbie.
Probably, yeah, most likely.
He should.
Now that Levi is out.
Yeah.
He definitely will probably get a
start. Levi was penciled in to be the starter.
Yeah.
Game 1. Let's talk about those rookies because I think that, you know, a lot of people like to shit on the Lions draft classes because, oh, what's Brad doing with these picks or how are we using them? I would definitely say this could be a very impactful draft class because if you look at the players we drafted this year, a lot of them could see very substantial playing time.
Yeah,
including our first 3 picks.
Yeah, this is kind of like that bridge to the future, right? Like you still got a nice young team, contending team, But you know,
Right.
after next year, or after this season, I should say, I don't think DJ Reader would be here. You would have Elaine McNeil and Tylee Williams in the middle.
I think DJ Reader's contract's up. I think, right?
Yeah,
He was only a
right.
2-year deal.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, you know, on the offensive side of the ball, obviously with Frank Ragnow being going, you got Tay Radledge, Frazier, you got Christian Mahogany, and you got Panay Sewell. That's like a whole new offensive line right there. So this is kind of that segue to the future. And this draft class, now that you say that, Nate, it does seem like it's very important, even more impactful than past, because this is going to shape our future right here.
Let me ask y'all, out of all the rookies that we drafted this past class, who do you think is going to be the most impactful this year for us?
I got mine.
Go ahead.
Isaac Tesla.
Really?
Tesla.
Wow.
Look,
Okay.
listen, on BetMGM, he's plus 12,000 to win Rookie of the Year, man. Watch he
You
be
better put your money down now.
watch, man. I'm telling you, I don't want to sound crazy, but I really think Isaac Tesla is going to get a lot of playing time this season. I really think he's going to.
I was like, who's Rat? I got Tate.
Yeah, Tate.
The mullet. You got to call him the mullet.
At first,
Brent.
I'm like,
the
Rat,
mullet.
but it just clicked. Ratledge, okay.
I'm going to say this about Tesla. Like, the Lions have not had a really big body receiver that's been, like, really skilled. Like, we've had, like, the DJ Charks. We've had the Tim Patricks. But they come with limitations. With Tesla, he is an athletic man, and he's tall. He's 6'4".
He's tall.
Yeah, and my only thing with Tesla is if he can get separation in the NFL, he's going to be a damn good receiver. Because that is the main thing that I worry about with him. Because in college, everybody looks good getting separation because you're going against guys that probably aren't going to play in the NFL. But when you're in the NFL, you're playing against elite athletes. Can he get separation? That's what I'm going to watch in preseason. Hint, hint. When we watch that game is how he gets separation, even against some of the weaker players. Because if he can get separation against some of the weaker players, you know that there's hope that he can do it against some of the elite defenders. So that's going to be interesting to see.
You know how I think they're going to use Tesla. I think they're going to use him from the 20 on in. When you getting in the red zone, you need a big body target. That's your guy right there.
Sure.
Whenever
Yeah.
you use,
We should use him. He's
how you
6'4".
use-
He's
that's
6'4",
how you
man.
Use Tesla. Yeah, dude, 6'4". That's a mammoth of a man. He's tall.
B, who's gonna be the most impactful Lion from this draft class?
Well, just to say something about Tesla,
Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
I don't think that being rookie of the year, that ain't gonna happen.
There's a lot of people that
Not happening, buddy.
How would Travis
It's a
Hunter
good
on
hope.
there?
It's a good hope, but it ain't gonna happen because first of all, there's a lot of good draftees out there that are first round draft picks that'll probably most likely win at 1. And 2, he's got to play a lot. Now, I'm not saying he can't play a lot. Somebody might go down, and he might get into that role. But at the same time, if we're thinking about it without all that going on, then I would say no, he's not going to do that. I mean, I do see him working part-time with Patrick. I do see that. They're going to get him in there somehow. You know, they didn't go all the way up in the draft pick to get him for nothing.
Exactly.
But between Williams and Ratledge, I think Ratledge, I think he's going to be the guy that he's going to surprise most of because whether he plays the guard or the center position, he's going to accelerate in that. I see this. I think he's going to do a really good job. I think he's even
a
going to be
mammoth
better
of a
than
man.
Sebo.
Dude. He's a big dude. Big dude.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think he's going to get it done. In comparison to Williams, I think Williams is going to be a functioning defensive lineman right now. It's when you start on defensive tackles or being a defensive tackle in the NFL as a rookie, there's some things offensive linemen got skills too now. They got their little quirks and their little moves, just like a veteran defensive lineman and a rookie offensive lineman. So you got to look at it from both sides. So he's going to be trial by fire for real. But I think Ratledge has the skills to compete against veteran defensive linemen immediately.
Yeah, Yeah, and I agree with you with the Tate, because I do think Tate's path to greatness is a lot easier than Williams is.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reality is Williams is going to have maybe 1 or 2 games to really show what kind of potential he has. And then he's going to rotation because he's not starting ahead of Aline and he's not starting ahead of DJ Reader. Now next year he probably will be the starter with Aline, but for right now, he's not going to outseed either one of those two unless it's an injury. So with Tate's expected day one to really be good. Like they have a lot of expectation of this guy to be the linchpin for that O-line for years to come. And he's got the skill, he's got the body type, he's got the right mentality. And the fact that they're cross training him in 2 positions and he's doing a pretty good job of it, that's impressive. Because you just don't see rookies picking it up that easy. And it's not easy to play center. Like you, if you ever looked at what Frank had to do with Goff before games and how he would do the pre-snaps and talk about all this other stuff, and it is mind-boggling. So the fact that Tate's even, like I think Dan said it best, he's drinking through the water hose, because they're literally throwing the kitchen sink at him, and he's not faltering. He's exceeding expectations, which is great news because we desperately need that. Desperately.
Heart says Tesla. The brain says it will be Rattling. So got to be logical.
Yeah, that's fine. Nothing wrong. Hey, we could be wrong. I mean,
he does have big shoes to fill. Very huge shoes to fill. So I definitely think he can live up to those expectations. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a long season, so you never know what's going to happen.
Give me a player who you're really watching in this preseason. Like you got your eyes on this person all preseason.
Hendon Hooker.
Why?
Hendon Hooker, because we have been going round and round the last 2 seasons now about our backup quarterback, and we never just really seem to get it down, especially with Teddy Bridgewater retiring and then coming back, and now you got Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen. I just want to see Hendon Hooker, man. I just want to see that pick that we picked him at in the 4th round wasn't a waste. I want to see that guy that I did see, get drafted out of Tennessee, the guy that beat Alabama. Not to say he can out-see Jared Goff, but I just want to see that if Jared Goff needed to miss a game or 2, Hendon Hooker will be competent in our offense. That's what I want.
All right, B.
Terrion Arnold.
Dang it, you took mine. Yeah.
I want to see him. I need to see him. I mean, actually, it's good that we got DJ Reed because he's going to be the number 1 corner, and Terrion Arnold is not going to have that big of a responsibility going into year 2. He's going to be the CB2, so that's good for him because he can be a little bit of a mistake being a CB2 than he can a CB1. CB1s, that's where you put your best corner at, and I think DJ Reed is going to be that guy, but. As far as Arnold is concerned, I think this is perfect for him. I think he's going to show out this year. I actually think I told you last year I didn't think he was going to get any interceptions. So kind of worked with me on that one. But this year I think he's going to get a couple.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get a couple this year.
Yeah, you can kind of see, like, if you watch that video with Amara, whether or not you think he was running full speed or whatever, the way he turned his head and located that ball, that's what we didn't see in year 1 with Terrion. We saw great coverage with him at times. He got a little handsy. He cleaned that up. But that's the evolution of his game, is if he could get better at locating the ball and turning his head, like you teach that stuff in Pee-wee football. Turn your head around and locate the ball. Like, if he can do that consistently, he's going to get picks. I agree with you, B, because his instincts are up there. Like, that's one of the reasons why he had, 6 interceptions in college his final year. Like, he can locate the ball. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm going to throw a name out there that nobody's going to say. TA was mine, just to be fair, but I'll throw another name out there that I really like. I want to see a lot is Zach Cunningham, the linebacker they picked up in the offseason. The linebacking room is really interesting because, you've got Jack, who's the head of the snake. He's the Mike linebacker. You've got Alex, who should be good to go. He has been practicing. I don't know about the contract situation, but looks like he's going to be playing on a 1-year deal unless something happens. And you've got Barnes, who just got paid. and they expect a lot of him. Rodrigo's going to come back in the fall. Zach Cunningham's an interesting player. Like he's had an interesting career, and the Lions really like this guy. And I think you could see this guy literally cutting into time for Alex, time for Barnes. If he keeps playing at a high level and keeps being that veteran presence that's been out there and doing well, it's going to be interesting to see, with the new linebacking coach, how he kind of uses his rotation players, because it's not Shep. If it was Shep, I don't think, it would probably be Zach would have a chance in there because he likes his other guys he's had. But this is a new linebacking coach. I mean, yeah, they got to answer to Shep overall, but Shep empowers these guys to do their own thing too, just like Dan does. And so it's going to be interesting to see with this new linebackers coach, Sean Dion Hamilton. I believe that's correct, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How he unleashes all these linebackers. But keep an eye on Zach Cunningham. I really want to watch him throughout preseason and see how he runs the defense. I mean, obviously Jack's not going to play, more likely, so it's going to be Zach or probably it'll be Zach or Barnes. I don't even know if they'll throw Barnes up there. So probably it's going to be Zach that's going to be running most of the Mike defense. So be interesting to see what happens with this guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Aleem was out until Thanksgiving. Yeah, I mean, 1 or 2 games. I think they say Aleem could be back sooner. That's what Brad said. So, you don't want to rush him back. But, I mean, heck, if Williams comes out and balls out, that's just an added bonus, y'all. Now you got 3 legit tackles. Even Roy Lopez, throw him in there. You've got 4 tackles that you can rotate out. Like, that's huge.
Yeah. I think more what you were saying is that in 1 or 2 games we have to see if he can ball out. He's going to be playing there until Aleem comes back. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I was going based on what you were how you were saying it. So I think Brent was just asking, I thought he was coming back until Thanksgiving. He probably still will do that. But at the same time, we got to see what Williams does in his first couple of games. If he comes out punching, then we know we got a winner on our side. So,
give me a player that you think is probably on the chopping block that you're going to be watching real closely to see if he's going to make it or if he's going to get cut. I can already think of one in my head. Yeah, just somebody you think that you really are going to watch and see if they. Ooh, okay.
Love it.
Love it. Okay, tell me why Pascal, B.
Well, Pascal's been playing passe, so it's his time to shine. He needs to start getting in there because they, like I said, they need to find somebody that's comparative, not being Aiden Hutchinson, but being comparative to him on the other side. If Davenport, fails in his request to come back,
He's just throwing him out today, man. He's just throwing him out today. Go ahead, B.
I can't stand the fact that they keep signing that dude. But if Davenport doesn't add up and he gets injured again, they need somebody to step in there. I'm not sure that the Hassassin or Muhammad exactly has that spot sewed up. Pascal's been there longer than both of those guys in that defense. He's got it's his time to shine. What was he picked? He was what, the 5th round pick? Third round pick? Third round pick? Yeah, you're not playing up to your 3rd round pick. You haven't done that.
Do you think they could cut him with all the lack of depth at defensive end?
Well, there's not a lack of depth on defensive end. They got plenty of defense. They got plenty of defensive.
Well, lack of experience depth, I guess you want to say it like.
Well, I mean, he's experienced, but what has that gotten the Lions so far?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
I will say this: when Pascal is healthy, he does play pretty well. He is kind of that set the edge type of dude that can play the run well. It's just his health, man. The guy just has not been healthy. I mean, to be fair, he's dealt with cancer too. I mean,
it also depends on the offense he's going against. He plays real good against weaker offenses, but he does not do good against big offenses. That's just something I see all the time. So you got to be consistent in that factor. If you anybody can play good, if you're playing a weaker offense, but if you're not playing a weaker offense, you got to step up. Okay. He ain't been doing that.
Jay, you said love it.
Love it. Reason being is because we got a lot of wide receivers.
We do.
It's going to be a lot of people he's competing with, and it has nothing to do with his ability. But I mean, 3-4 receivers we can name right now. We know are going to be on the team: is St. Brown, J-Mo, Raymond, and Tim Patrick, right? For sure. Yeah. Then you add in Tesla, and then you add in Lovett. Then I just don't know if he's going to be there. But we'll see. I think he got potential. He definitely has potential, and I heard things about him in practice, but I just don't know if he.
I definitely think that he won't. I don't think he'll make the 5-6 best receivers we have in the 53 man.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to carry 6.
Practice squad,
but I think he'll make practice squad. I mean, he's got potential, and I don't know who the receivers are right now in the practice squad. But I would definitely keep him because, he's a really guy.
There's nobody on a practice squad right yet because they're in training camp. But
they didn't keep anybody from the last year.
I mean, everybody that was on the training. I mean, on the squad last year. Let's see.
I guess they clean it up after every season.
Yeah, they always keep.
They got.
TK is always there. TK is like the gift that keeps on giving, man.
That guy reminds me of Zach Zinner. Anybody remember Dr. Z?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, he kind of reminds me of that guy. Who's always going to be around, and if you need him in a pinch, he can actually play.
Okay. Well, B's checking on that. I'm gonna say Sion Vaki. I like Sion Vaki. I think that he's got a lot of potential as a runner. Obviously, Netflix is right now the number 3 running back in the pecking order, but don't be surprised if Sion Vaki really shows something in preseason, because there's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Tashard Choice, and he's calling the shots now at the running back position. And Tashard Choice loves young running backs. I mean, he had that at UT and Georgia Tech. So watch out for Sion Vaki. And Dan even said himself in his presser that they want to expand his role. So what that means, I don't know. But I'm going to watch Sion Vaki because I remember in preseason last year, he ran pretty well. He ran through the tackles and ran pretty tough. So I think he'll definitely get a lot of burn this preseason if he's healthy and he's ready to go. Which
I think he's going to do a good job this season too.
I like Vaki. Yeah. So Vaki's the guy I'm going to be watching for. But it's tough because he's got some competition too. They got that guy from Tennessee, right? That they signed to. So yeah, I mean, we already know who the top 2 running backs are, and Netflix is probably going to be the 3rd, and then Vaki or that other guy. So we'll see. He could really ball out, or he could really not do well. What you got, B?
Well, Tom Kennedy's on a reserve active practice squad list.
Still there. Shit.
But I mean, the receivers, you got to understand, it's just not Tesla, Williams, Brown. You got to remember Khalif is still there.
Oh yeah,
Tim Patrick.
Khalif,
we got Jackson Meeks. We got Malik Taylor. Dominic.
We got the guy from Michigan too.
Yeah. Yep. And Ronnie Bell. Yep. And Jacoby Kenny James is another receiver. He's a rookie. He's an undrafted rookie. So you got all those guys.
Yeah.
And Tom Kennedy is on this list, actually. Tom Kennedy is on a training camp list. So you got all those. There's a lot of receivers you got to go through and a lot of talent. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, I kind of agree with Jay, but at the same time, I think this is last year for Tom Kennedy, if he even makes it.
Did y'all ever see that meme? You ever see that meme of The Simpsons where a TK literally is getting thrown out of the bar and he turns around and he's in the bar again?
Oh, yeah. I was like, Tom Kennedy, you talking about the big guy. That Mo's throw out of the bar and he's just like...
Yeah, and he's like literally turns around and he's right there behind Mo. Yeah, that's TK for you. Yeah. Panthers running back, we brought in more... Oh, are you talking about Toa? They didn't bring him in. They just worked him out. If that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, they worked him out. He didn't make their training camp roster, Brent.
Well,
I think he's
I don't know
talking
if
about.
well, it can't be Jabari Small because he's a scat back and he's from Tennessee.
He's got to be talking about Toa because that's the
unless
Michigan
it's
Panther
Kyle.
quarterback.
Unless it's Kyle Robichaud. He's he's a rookie, so no, it can't be him either. We don't have.
Brent, who are
any
you talking
quarterbacks.
about? Explain yourself, sir.
Explain yourself. We don't have any
All right. I know this is stupid, but we're going to wrap up the training camp preview with predictions. We play 4 games in preseason starting on Thursday. What's our record at the end of preseason? 2-2? Okay. B?
IDK.
I know you don't give a shit. but
Actually, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care.
Just give me a number. Just give me a number. Humor the
2-2.
I think the
All right,
first and the last game.
All right, I'm gonna say 0-4. Yeah, Toa. That's what I was talking about. He's talking about Toa.
Yeah.
Toa. Yeah. Toa.
Dang it, Nate.
Yeah, Hooker's gonna hook it up in a bad way.
He better. He better do something.
Yeah, I do think Hooker, man. If he struggles in preseason, he's done.
Yeah, man. Like
Kyle Allen will take that starting spot.
Yeah, I think people are underestimating
or backup spot.
And I think the reason why that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes drafted him is because they had high hopes for him. Now, if they don't have any use for him and you use the 4th round draft pick on him, I don't think they're going to just keep you around and keep you on the roster knowing that you aren't able to fulfill what they need, right? I just don't see it happening, man. He better straight up.
You know, I don't buy into conspiracy theories, but I really do think that Hooker was drafted for leverage in case the Goff talks fell apart. I don't really think that they bought into a 27-year-old quarterback to be a starter.
It's possible, you know, but Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are very transparent. They will let you know up front, you know, and sure. I think that Jared Goff and Brad Holmes, the whole front staff, I should just say, addressed them that way. I think they were in talks. I think they just drafted him because they know they needed a backup quarterback. You know, if Jared Goff was like the Iron Man, he hadn't missed a game in 3 seasons. So it's like they needed that.
That's fair, but you don't take a backup quarterback at 3 in the 3rd round. But that's just my opinion. But we'll see.
Well, I mean, that's what he fell to because of his injury.
Sure,
remember that
he would have been a top 15 pick. Yeah, absolutely,
first round draft pick. But I think the writing's on a wall when we saw the playoff game when Goff went out and Bridgewater went in. That told me everything I need to know about Hooker and how confidence factor that they had in him.
Exactly.
And, I tell you what, if Kyle Allen beats Hooker out of that, we're gonna have big trouble at a backup quarterback position because Kyle Allen is crap. He is not a very good backup quarterback at all. So,
well, to add to that point, they didn't even trust Teddy Bridgewater to throw the ball. They just handed the ball off to J-Mo, and J-Mo ran for an 80-yard touchdown.
True.
Oh yeah, but I get it. I get what you're saying. All right,
but,
fellas.
I mean, if they have faith for him to even run that play, tells you a whole bunch.
Right. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the training camp preview. We're excited that the next show we'll talk about the Hall of Fame game. It is going to be Thursday, 8 o'clock, I believe, right? Eastern time?
Eastern Standard Time.
Playing
That's
Chargers,
Thursday, August 2nd. Jesus.
The Chargers.
I can't wait.
Football's back, baby.
That's right. Football is back.
All right. So on that note, we're going to jump into predictions. So we're going to continue our division previews, and we are talking about the South. Both sides.
The AFC
and the NFC. Okay. So we're just going to dive into the NFC South.
You want to do the AFC South first? Let's do the AFC South first.
That's fine.
Because, I mean, really, it's the South. I mean, both sides.
Divisions. They're both terrible, yeah. But okay, let's do the AFC South. So in case you live under a rock, it's the Texans, the Colts, the Titans, and the Jaguars. Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
All right. let's start with the Texans, who won the division last year. Give me your thoughts on what your expectations of the Texans are this year. B, I'll let you go first.
I think the Texans will win the division again this year, although I think 10-5 is more of a loftier expectation for them this year, only because they got rid of a lot of their offensive line last year for some reason. I don't know.
They did. They got rid of Tunsil, yeah.
They got rid of a couple of their good offensive linemen and stuck them in there with some, decent linemen, but not better than those two that they got rid of. And
we talk about protecting your quarterback all the time. Why would you?
Yeah. And then they still, I really still think I think their defensive side of the ball is way better than their offensive side of the ball at this point. And because I think they still have issues with their wide receiver core. I think they don't have anybody that's solid or consistent yet, except maybe
they've got potential. They got that guy from
they got the potential.
State. Yeah,
they got potential. And then on top of that, they're having problems already with the running back situation.
Mixon might be out for a while.
Yeah, Mixon might be out, and then they got Nick Chubb, which was a good thing on their part to get him. But who knows what Nick Chubb's going to be when he gets back in there. So, and with that offensive line, I'm not too sure about that. And because of the AFC South is so weak, I see them winning that again. So I give them 10-7, 11-6.
Jay, do you share the same thing with B?
I share the same exact thoughts. I think Houston wins. I think 10 games is enough to win that division. It's not strong, right? You got two teams that are really just dumpster fires right now in that division. And I don't see anybody getting over 10 wins, and 10 wins should be enough to clinch that division. I think DeMeco Ryans knows what he wants to do. I think DeMeco Ryans going to be physical on defense. Hence the reason why you got Daniil Hunter and you got RoboCop Will Anderson. You got both of them coming off of the edge. I think their defense.
Yeah, that's a hell of a tandem to have coming off the edges.
Oh hell yeah! I think their defense is going to be pretty solid. They just got C.J. Gardner-Johnson back there, so I do think that they win the division, 10 games. But we'll see how it all shake out. That division is soft, man. Really, let's just be honest.
Yeah, it really. You could argue there's a couple of teams that could win that division.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Texans aren't gonna win that division.
You said
aren't.
Okay.
I'll tell you who. I do think that talent-wise, they do have a good roster. CJ Stroud, this is a big year for CJ Stroud. This is year 3. And he had a great rookie year. He had an okay rookie second year. It wasn't that great, but he had his moments. Year 3 is huge. This is where you're really going to see how good CJ Stroud could be. Like B said, the weakening of the O-line does not help because CJ Stroud is not really a runner. And you've got to be able to protect him. And the fact is that Mixon might be out for a minute. That's not good either because then your running game takes a hit. And the receivers, outside of Nico Collins, you really don't have a lot of faith in those guys because they're mostly rookies. Tank Dell's not going to be back this year. So, there's a lot of question marks on the Texans. A lot of question marks. I think defensively, they're good enough to carry the team for the most part, but CJ Stroud's really got to take a step forward. And I just don't see that happening to some extent. But it'll be interesting to see. DeMeco Ryans a good coach. They do have some good young players, but that defense has to be really good because if that defense is ass, that offense is going to struggle too. They also lost their offensive coordinator too. So, they're going through some changes. So I'm not sure about the Texans, but let's move on to Jacksonville. Duval.
Yep.
Talk to me about Jacksonville, Jay.
They are going to only win about 4 games next season. I don't think Doug Peterson. I just don't think that he's that whole city is just a dumpster fire. I'm sorry to put it that way, but Jacksonville.
I never invited you to Duval, by the way.
Well, just remember, Jay, that Doug Peterson is no longer the.
I'm sorry.
Liam Cohen.
Not Liam Cohen is the other guy. They replaced
Liam Cohen.
Guy who said
Liam Cohen.
I just don't
offensive
think
coordinator.
that I think he's just a guy that come in and just kind of get them amped up maybe for another season, you know, to kind of get him through. But you drafted Travis Hunter, and I don't see in any way how that would impact your team to where you can actually make a push to win the division. I mean, they got high hopes, but it's still Jacksonville. I don't see any offseason moves that they made to get them over 5 wins. They're dumpster fire. Let's what's his name? Shad Khan, the GM. How do you say his name? Shad Khan. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but if anybody were to sell a professional team, or if they need to get rid of those guys,
You just bought the team.
you know, that's the guy you want to get rid of right there because he does not know what he's doing. I'm sorry to say it that way, but
That's fair.
yeah, man, they may win 4 games this season.
Okay.
I don't see
All
them
right.
doing anything.
B, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think this is good. This team could vie for second place in this division with another team. I think their window is like 9-8, 8-9, somewhere around here. Like I said, this is a weak division, so that's probably this is going to basically be the same blueprint for the NFC North. But anyway, I mean the NFC South. But anyway, it's kind of the same thing. So 8-9, 9-8, I see. That's if Joey Sunshine decides he wants to play football instead of
Joey Sunshine. Y'all got some names today, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, I got them at 8, 9, 9-8. I mean, they have a functional team. It's a pretty good team. It's just that the quarterback play has been erratic. They don't really have a great run game. I hope Cohen comes from a good lineage of coaches, a coaching tree. He comes from Tampa Bay. Came from Tampa Bay, so he should be fine. As far as the offensive coordinator is concerned, or as far as the head coach is concerned, because they'll put a lot more offense in there. So we'll see how that works out. I can't because he's a first-year coach. You can't really gauge anything off that. So it's all up to Lawrence, though. If Lawrence can't get it done, that team is decimated.
Dude, really quick. The coach came in with the lane presser with the whole Duval thing. I mean, dude, that seems so forced. He just looking like, man, I just got paid. That was the look on his face, like he just got paid and he know he about to dwindle that team.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't share this. I don't share the same perspective y'all do. I actually have the Jags winning the division, and I'll tell you why. Because B's right. This is a huge year for Trevor Lawrence. Like number 1 pick. He's had his moments where he's looked really, really good, and he's had his moments where he's looked complete ass. Like, I think getting Liam Cohen was a huge get for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'll tell you why. If Liam Cohen can turn around Baker Mayfield, you sure as hell can turn around Trevor Lawrence, who's more talented. And what did you do to help Trevor Lawrence? Like everybody else does, add a weapon in Travis Hunter, along with Brandon Thomas, who balled out last year. You've got a decent O-line. You've got some decent running backs. I really think that this Jacksonville Jaguar team will take a step forward this year. And just from an offensive standpoint, they're going to be better than the Texans because we just talked about the Texans' woes. They might be out there running back. They only have one receiver really that they can rely on right now. Their O-line shaky. CJ's entering his 3rd year. We don't know what he's going to be in 3 years. Trevor Lawrence, you've got to get it this year, dude. If you don't, he might very well be out of the league in a couple of years. That's the reality.
Or a backup.
Or a backup. Yeah. Well, the thing is that that's why they brought in Liam Cohen, because if you look at the patterns now, you see this with Phillip and Ben Johnson, JJ and KOC. It's all about the young quarterback and the bright mind, offensive-minded coach. And that's the way the NFL is going. And so Liam Cohen, like I said, if you can turn around Baker Mayfield, you sure as hell can turn around Trevor Lawrence. So that's one of the big reasons why I say the Jags will win the division. So. All right, moving on to the Colts. Talk to me about the Colts, B.
Okay, the Colts are going to be the one that I feel that are going to be one of the ones vying for second place.
Okay.
They have a higher ceiling at going 9-8, but then again, they do have the quarterback issues. I am
Yeah.
not sold on Richardson, and I'm sure the hell not sold on Daniel Jones yet. And both of them so far in training camp have shown that nobody knows what the hell's going on at quarterback. So, and then they lost 2 offensive linemen to Minnesota, two good ones. So they're another team that's iffy at quarterback, just like Jacksonville is. That's why I think 8 and 9, 9 and 8 might be their ceilings. So I mean, their defense is kind of stable, but their offense is just the quarterback position's killing it the whole
The
time.
offense is not that good. Period. It really
Well,
is.
I mean, the quarterback play in general. I mean, either one of those quarterbacks, whoever steps up, they really got to, for them to be 9 and 8, in my opinion, to tell you the truth, their quarterbacks really got to step up to get to that point.
Okay, Jay, what you think?
I think they win about 6 or 7 games. They probably finish 3rd place.
How are you going to say Jacksonville's a dumpster fire and the Colts are 6 games?
Well, I think that the Colts still do have some talent on their team, and they play their division very hard. So I do think that they have that potential. But with the passing of Jim Irsay, Jim Irsay ran everything. He put the right people in place, and he's not there to do that anymore. And I wonder how that.
Yeah, it's a new leadership running the team.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to affect the team. And I think that one thing that really separates them from being a good team and like just a average team is the quarterback play. They don't know what they want to do with Anthony Richardson. You drafted him to be your next starter, but obviously you know that he's not capable of being your starter. This is like a make or break year for him. They're going to give him that chance. But Daniel Jones, like, what are you doing at this point? I don't believe in Daniel Jones whatsoever. So I think they may win 5, 6, 7 games around that area. But I think this is it for them. I think see them with over 5 wins.
Yeah, I think with the Colts, like B kind of hit it on the head too. Like this team could vie for a wild card position, or they could vie for the top 3 pick in the draft.
Absolutely.
Because you have to have a quarterback to play in the NFL. And right now, if Daniel Jones is your best option, good luck. I think Anthony Richardson's done in Indianapolis. They're probably going to have to cut him at some point because clearly they don't believe in him. If you go get Daniel Jones, you don't believe in your guy. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Like you're putting a Band-Aid on a huge ass wound. And then if you look at their roster construction offensively, their best player is a running back. They did add Tyler Warren from Penn State, which I like a lot. I think Tyler Warren will be a really good tight end. But again, you don't have anybody to throw the damn ball to him, Hopefully Daniel Jones can at least throw a 10-yard pass to him because he's a weapon if you can utilize him. I mean, they really haven't upgraded the receiver position. I feel like Michael Pittman's been there for 20,000 years. I'm seriously. I mean, he's solid. He's solid.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have Adonai Mitchell from Texas. They had the year before. So, but it's still weak. It's a weak skill position.
They just
and you've got to have juice in those positions. O-line, they took some hits. Defensively, they're pretty solid defensively. They got some good players. But yeah, I think it's one of those enigma teams that they literally could be a wild card or they literally could be fighting for a top 5 pick. Because if you got no quarterback, you got no chance. All right.
I got you.
Moving on. Let's talk about the Titans. Jay, tell me about the Titans.
That's going to be the team that gives Houston a run for their money. That's going to be that team right there. Cam Moore, Tyler Lockett, they got a few upgrades on that team, man. And I think they
lost Burks for the year because they got a broken collarbone.
Yeah, but Traylon Burks, he was actually iffy anyway. He struggled last year. So,
I think his career is over with.
A big impact for them. But I think that Cam Moore is going to give them that shot in the arm that they need to kind of come back and be where they were before. I think they'll win 8 or 9 games. Finish second in the division. I kind of see Cam Moore like how I looked at Jaden Daniels last year. Now, look, I'm not saying he's going to be Jaden Daniels. I'm saying in the sense of being that leader, being that guy that gives that team that confidence that they need to go out there and play. Because last year their offense was horrible. It was their defense that kept them in games.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I think the offense is going to be able to give a defense the run for their money to, basically keep them afloat.
Okay, B, what do you think?
Well, I'm not in that class of. I mean, Cam Ward's going to be there. He's gonna make some kind of a difference, but they're still going to be at the bottom of that division. I don't see them winning more than 5 or 6 games at the most. Most. Their defense is still pretty solid, but their offense is. Ever since they lost Derrick Henry, man, that offense has been crap.
And Brown. They haven't replaced Brown either. Burks was supposed to be that guy, but he's clearly not.
Their offense is not very good at all. I like Spears. They added Tony Pollard last year, I believe.
Got Pollard, yeah.
They got the rookie from Michigan, Khalil Mullings.
They got Dylan Akina.
They got Jordan Means. And also, if you remember, Jamar Jefferson is on their team now.
Oh, yeah.
And Julius.
He's not sharing plays.
Well, we don't have to play them this year, so that's okay.
Right.
But, I mean, it's on Cam Ward. I'm going to tell you that right now because their backups, you're going to love this. Their backups are Tim Boyle and Brandon Allen.
Yes.
So if Cam Ward, fails or he gets hurt, Titans are really messed up after that. I mean, they are really taking it down.
Will Levis, ain't it? Will Levis.
Hey, and Will Levis is out for the rest of the season.
Mayo's out for the year.
Mayo is out.
Yeah, I think go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I think with the Titans, dude, they have so much talent. I mean, I'm sorry, they lack so much talent in their roster. They probably challenge the Colts for one of the worst offenses in the NFL. And you're dealing with a rookie quarterback. Now, Jay did bring up a point that I want to talk about. You talked about the Jaden Daniels kind of factor. When you see Cam Ward, I see a little bit of Jaden Daniels, but I see more off platform and more ad-lib. I see more of what Lamar Jackson looked like when he was a rookie, where he was just running around and trying to make shit happen. I see that with Cam Ward because lack of skill positions and his O-line's not that great either. He's going to be running for his life a lot, probably. To where Jaden Daniels was more poised, throw from the pocket, was more accurate. He ran when he had to. But I think a lot of people are sleeping on Cam Ward because he has that ability to have a season like a Jaden Daniels if everything goes right. Now, losing Burks is not a good start because even though the guy sucks, that's another receiver that you lost. And you don't really have a lot of good receivers already. You mentioned the running game. The running game's solid. The O-line is okay. Defense is, again, this is one of those teams where the defense is probably going to have to win them games because the defense is pretty stout. They got Mr. Simmons in the middle, who's a freaking beast. And then you've got Snead on the corner, one of the cornerbacks. He can cover. So it's going to be interesting because I've heard people talk about the Titans as far as they could be that team to go worse from first if Cam Ward is the truth in a sense. I know you're shaking your head. I'm just saying.
No. I'm laughing at Robbie. I'm laughing at Robbie.
Oh, okay. But I'm just saying. But people have said that in NFL circles about him because they feel like the talent is there. However, you're asking him to do a lot his rookie year, and he's not going to be able to throw from clean pockets. He's going to be running for his life. The good thing is he can run, and he can throw a damn good deep ball. So we'll see. Going back to this division, I think it's a two-horse race between Jacksonville and the Texans.
Yes.
I think the Colts and the Titans might take a step up, but as far as pecking orders of trying to win the division, it's probably going to be a 2-team race. So
I think the thing with the Titans is Cam Ward might have athleticism and everything like that, but it's the rest of his team that's the problem.
Right.
And when you don't have stuff around you and you're running for your life and you're trying to make plays, that's going to might make you a better quarterback in the future. But at the moment, it ain't going to do nothing for your team because you're going to make those rookie mistakes. You're going to get pressured. You're going to throw interceptions. stuff like that. I just don't. I don't see the Titans doing anything but being at the bottom right now. I think they'll be better next year, but this year, yeah.
Think about this, B. Think about this really quick. When Jaden Daniels went to Washington, everybody was like, man, Jaden Daniels is going to be good, but Washington is going to struggle. And he took them to the NFC Championship game, and he was really what they needed. He was that leader that they needed, somebody to come in and bring life. Now, granted, they did have another head coach that was good as well, but I see that same thing in Cam Ward. Cam Ward is very competitive. He's very fiery when it comes to it. He's not cocky. He's just competitive. I don't know if you guys seen him battling with Shadur Sanders where they were throwing and
yeah, he's pretty poised. He doesn't seem like a big talker.
Yeah, it just seemed like he has that leadership mentality that they needed because Will Levis didn't seem like he had it. Will Levis just seemed, I mean, for lack of better words, soft. Like he didn't do well under pressure. He couldn't do anything, and he was mobile. He couldn't do shit. Excuse my language, but he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And Cam Ward is telling you he's going to do that. He's like, you need to trust in him.
Again, you're comparing Cam Ward to the NFL Jaden Daniels. The NFL Jaden, when he came out of LSU, he, really nobody thought too much of Jaden Daniels then. It's all about how you play when you get in the NFL. Absolutely. See, I'm not comparing Cam Ward to that because Cam Ward hasn't played it down in the NFL yet. When we see him play games and I see him with that poise that Jaden Daniels is, then I can come with him as being that guy. But until I don't see it, I don't think Jaden Daniels even really had that in him until he got into the NFL. I think he knew he had to take over that team and he knew he had to do stuff with that team, and and that mentality came into him. It's about that. I'm not saying Cam Ward can't do that, but at the same time, he hasn't played an NFL game yet. And he's going to get thrown into the fire immediately. And
absolutely.
He's going to be in a
he's playing in the division. He ain't playing in the NFC South, East or
and that's true, but he still has to play. The teams he has to play outside of that aren't no cupcakes.
Absolutely.
And another thing, everything against them. So,
and another thing too is that Jaden Daniels owes a lot of success to Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury really designed the offense around Jaden Daniels and really got him to kind of where he was. Cam Ward doesn't have that. So it's going to be interesting to see. This guy's going to have a lot of pressure from game one, and I feel bad for the guy because they very well could suck ass really bad early on, and people are going to shit all over Cam Ward. Oh, we should have took Shador. We should have took somebody else. I can already hear it now.
Exactly. Yes.
And so you got to be patient. This is not. You're not going to win the playoffs this year. If you increase your win total by 3 or 4 games, consider yourself lucky. That's 500 almost, right? So I don't know. We'll see.
They have Brian Callahan as the coach, so see how that works.
See how that works. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, offensive coordinator is nobody you would probably know. Nick Holtz. Who the hell is that?
Just a guy.
He's just a guy.
All right. Well, moving from one disaster division to another disaster division, let's go to the South. And let's talk about the NFC. So we'll start with the defending champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Talk to me about the Bucs, B.
Yeah, I think Tampa Bay is going to be repeating in that division for a division crown. I don't really see anybody threatening them. Although the funny thing about that whole situation is they did lose twice to the Falcons last year.
They did.
And the Falcons
they beat us and they beat the Eagles.
They couldn't beat the Falcons, but they still won that division. So that tells you a lot about the other team that we're going to be talking about. But I think Tampa Bay is probably the most solid of all the teams. They got the coaching. They picked up Ekuban, or what is that his name? Ekuban for Ohio State. I think he's going to make a really big impact in there, especially with Chris Godwin being, there's no
that's
certain
a great 3 receivers right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that he's going to gel really well with, with Baker. And of course you got Evans. Evans is always the consistent one. And they got a very good running back core. Their offensive line is really good, and their defense plays pretty solid. Philadelphia and Detroit always have a problem with that team. and those are
On Bulls
two,
defense.
two top of the tier teams in the NFL. So when you got that going, I just think they're probably gonna be 11-5 at the most, and I'm going over the hill on this one. 12-5. I think
Oh, wow.
11-6 is
Okay.
probably more in their realm.
Okay. Jay, what do you think?
Buccaneers, I think they win 10 games as well. I think 10 games is enough to win that division. I think it's going to be just a tad bit more difficult. But I think the Buccaneers, I still think with Godwin, with Mike Evans. What's that guy they just drafted? The other receiver they drafted.
Ekuba, or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
the receiver from Ohio State.
I think that's
Yeah,
going to
you're
be
both
Abuka.
name because there's a from
Abuka.
And he got
Yeah.
Jalen
There you
McMillan
go.
over there, so it's like Bucky Irvin. I think that team is still going to be really good and really solid.
Yeah.
I think that they got a nice team down there, and they're going to be competing for that division for a while. They're going to be competing for that division for a while. So I think the Buccaneers actually are going to be a really good team this year.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are a good team. I mean, they do play good teams tough. I think Baker Mayfield has found a home in Tampa Bay. They did lose their OC, so kind of like what the ridicule we're getting about our offensive coordinators. It's going to be interesting to see what OC does with Baker Mayfield because he really turned Baker Mayfield around. Like Goff had the talent when he came to Detroit. He just was not utilized the right way. Baker Mayfield had a total transformation in Tampa Bay.
Sure did.
Like literally went from ass to actually a top 15 quarterback. Offensively, they're stout. They've got a good line with Wirfs. They've got good backs with Bucky Irving, and I think they have White still. They got Evans, the timely, consistent dude, and they've got I can't say that guy's name. Okuba. What was his name?
Abuka.
Ah, dang, I was way off. Abuka, and they got Godwin, who they brought back after that gruesome injury. Yeah, they're loaded offensively. They should definitely put up points. Defensively, they're a little bit older. I mean, they still got Vita Vea. They still got David. They got some defensive playmakers.
What's that defensive lineman they got from Pittsburgh 2 years ago?
Damn,
he's a scrappy little dude.
Oh no, you're right. I like him a lot.
Scrappy little dude.
He's kind of like a mini Aaron Donald the way he plays.
Yeah, he made a couple plays.
Yeah. God, what's his name?
Talk about Cansey.
Yeah.
Kansas. There you go.
Elijah
Yeah. Elijah Kansey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got some.
They're pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a solid defense.
Vita Vea is the guy though, and then they got the fat boy,
Oh, yeah.
the guy that they got that
huge guy.
Weight.
Yeah. 400 pounds. Yeah, man.
Is it true they sidelined him until they get his weight under control?
Yes, they did.
Oh, he's over 400 pounds, man. You can't play that 400 pounds at football. But just imagine if he really takes into conditioning, having him and Vita Vea in the middle. Holy shit!
At least get down to 350. That would be crazy.
They will eat anybody coming inside.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question about Tampa Bay. Do you think that the talent level with Tampa Bay is it tremendously higher than the other three teams, or do you think it's the gap's a little bit closer?
No, I think it's tremendously higher than the other three teams. I mean,
what do you think?
Better offensive line. Who are you going with? Are you going with Atlanta? Are you going with the Saints or Carolina?
Yeah,
Buccaneers.
I mean, in that division,
wide receiver.
they're probably heads or tails. I think the gap is closing slowly with Atlanta, and Carolina should be getting up there. New Orleans Saints got a way to go. I think they're one of those teams, but I think Tampa Bay is like heads and tails above everybody in that division right now. You have to beat them, and this is why I thought it was funny that Atlanta beat them twice last year, and they still won a division. We'll get to Atlanta in a minute, though.
Yeah, good segue. Yeah, good segue. Let's talk about the Dirty Birds. B, talk to me about the Dirty Birds. What do you think?
I think this team's all over the place. I think they have problems with their. I think they screwed themselves at the beginning of last year with signing Cousins and then drafting Penix.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I don't have a lot of faith in Penix yet. I got to see him play more. He's got to complete a whole season for me. He's a very injury-prone quarterback. People don't realize he's sewed up with gorilla glue right now. So,
2 ACL injuries.
Until they find out what's going on with Pitts, somebody's got to get Pitts involved in this offense. Pitts is a very good talent.
So crazy.
It seems like nobody can get him in this.
Is it scheme or do you think it's the player?
I think it's a little bit of both, actually. I think it's a little bit of both, actually. I think it's the scheme that doesn't let the player be the player, and then the player gets this mentality. And then when he gets in those situations where he can be the guy, he drops a ball or he doesn't get the job done completely. I think Pitts is somebody, if he doesn't do good this year or if he doesn't grasp the offense this year, I don't know. He might be traded. I just don't see him staying.
I think he should be traded. Get a fresh start for both guys.
Their best player on their team is, of course, the Ohio State. Oh. Yeah, not Drake London. I mean, the USC guy, Drake London, and he's good. The X factor in that whole offense is Bijan. Bijan is really good. He's a good running back. I kind of don't personally. I don't think he's better than Jahmyr Gibbs, but he is.
I was going to ask you that question because a lot of people have him over Gibbs.
They're about right here right now to me.
Yeah.
Their defense should be better because they did draft a couple of dogs in the draft.
Mm-hmm. Literally,
and that goes up to Raheem's. He's the head coach and he's a defensive guy. So hopefully the defense gets better because last year their defense kind of was like. And you got to remember something about Atlanta's offensive line too. They are a top 5, top 7 offensive line. They were.
And that's losing Gallman too to the Bears. They lost their best center.
They're a very good offensive line. That is the line that has the problem. They're very good if you have the scheme right with that offensive line, and that's why they're ranked so high as far as their scheme ability. Well, the line in general is ranked high because they are a very good offensive line when together. But as far as the scheme is concerned, they have to fix it where that offensive line can be that top 10 team, top 10 line, because they're not showing it right now.
Right.
Penix, Cousins was running all over the place last year. When Penix got the ball, he was running all over the place last year. And it wasn't because I don't think it was just because of the offensive line. It's the scheme. The offensive scheme sucked. So.
Yeah. And that falls on the coach. Raheem Morris is more of a defensive-minded coach. So
and the offensive coordinators and the people that they hire in those positions aren't doing their jobs correctly.
Right. Jay, what do you think?
I kind of see them finishing at about 9-8, 10-7, somewhere around there.
Okay. What do you think, Jay?
9-8, second place team. Complacency is their biggest issue. Because you got the talent, but what are you doing with it? When you got Bijan, you stopped running him, and you could have ran him quite a lot more, and he could have done a lot more for your offense. You don't use Pitts the right way. You don't use Drake London the right way. You got Michael Penix who can sling the ball. It's like, where are you going? What do you want to do with your team? You have the talent to win, but do you have the coaches? Do you have the scheme? Where are you going with this? So, like B said, they made a couple upgrades on their defense. I think their defense is going to be hella good, but I'd still see their offense kind of iffy, half and half. So I'm going to say 9-8 for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, for me, it comes back to quarterback. Is Michael Penix the answer? I mean, Kirk Cousins is sure as hell not the answer. You guys showed that in the quarterback that you don't believe in Kirk Cousins, and nor should you. Kirk Cousins is 37 years old, coming off an Achilles injury. He's a shell of himself. We can all agree on that.
Let's hold on a minute before you start bashing Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins wasn't The problem with Kirk Cousins last year, if you ever saw, if you watch
Turnovers.
quarterback, you see exactly no, not exactly that either. He actually set the single game record for passing last year for Atlanta.
You also led in turnovers too. The NFL.
And that was after he got hit in the shoulder.
Yeah.
He kept playing when he couldn't throw very far, and that's what was leading to a lot of turnovers. So he didn't take himself out of the game when he needed to take himself out of the game and let Penix take over. So that was his fault in that way because he's being too prideful.
He was clearly threatened by Penix.
That dude was playing good. He was playing good until he got hit in the shoulder. After he got hit in the shoulder, he wasn't good.
I don't know, B. I think that he played good enough. He didn't play the money that they paid him to be. He wasn't the Kirk Cousins from the Vikings. You know, he was a good quarterback, but they won games ugly. You know, and the thing is that when you look at the Falcons as a whole, Jay's right. They have a very talented roster on the offensive side. You got Drake London. You've got Algier. Nobody talks about Algier. You've got Bijan Robinson. You've got Kyle Pitts. You should have a top 5 offense in the NFL.
Yeah.
And you don't. And I think that falls more on Raheem Morris, a defensive coach who doesn't really understand how offense works. And when you've got a lot of skill position at the offense, you've got to get the right guy, or you've got to learn how to get this offense right. The problem is, too, is
he's a team with Mike Tomlin. That's what he.
Yeah,
he's
exactly. He's tone deaf to offense. He's tone deaf to offense.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, like, honestly, I don't know if Penix is the answer. I don't know if Kirk Cousins is the answer. But the thing is that team's too talented to be struggling so bad. You know, and if you look at what they did on the defensive side, they have a good secondary with Bates, and then they got Terrell. They added another cornerback too along with Terrell, and then you added 2 pass rushers in the first round. You traded up for 1 too, you know. So you've got a damn good defense. But again, we talk about these really good defenses, but no quarterback.
Just remember to knock on them too on their defense. Just one slight knock because they got rid of Grady Jackson, and that's going to be a difference in the middle.
Yeah.
People are going to run through the middle now because, hey, he's still effective when he was playing.
Yeah,
he was just they just thought he was old, and they got rid of him, and that's not.
Yeah.
Grady Jackson still was playing at the top of this game.
Well, let's see how good he plays with the Bears. Because I think he was a shell of himself.
This. I'm really interested in Nate. You said something about Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris, he brought over his offensive coordinator from a guy from LA, if I'm not mistaken, with Zach Robinson, right? Their offensive coordinator. He's very familiar with how offenses should be ran, especially working under Sean McVay.
Yeah,
that should be something that he should very well be familiar with. And for the lack of production that you have with all of those players on the team, I think that says a little bit more about. Raheem Morris.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm gonna say this about Raheem Morris. I like Raheem Morris. I think he's a good guy. His ass is gonna be gone if they don't do well this year. I guarantee you. They were already looking at a replacement when they thought about bringing in Bill Belichick, but because what's his face Kraft shit all over him before that interview, they didn't take him.
Do they go with Michael Vick if Michael Vick has a good season at Norfolk State? Hot take?
No. Oh, hell no. Bring him in at quarterback coach, but not freaking head coach. That would be like nostalgic, but that would be stupid.
That'd be crazy, right?
Yeah, but I do think that they're probably going to look for an offensive-minded coach. Again, offensive-minded coach, young quarterback. You see the pattern that's going on. I think this very well could be. If Morris does not get them to the playoffs, this is it. He's done. I don't think he'll be one on the chopping block for the next season.
Is this his third season or second season?
Second,
yeah.
But that team's too talented for them to suck that bad. I mean, we can all agree on that.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about the Panthers. B, what are the Panthers looking like this year?
The Panthers will be improved from last year. How much improved? Probably, I would say, they win 5 games last year?
think so, yeah.
5 games last year. So I think they'll improve by 1 or 2 games, maybe 3 if they're lucky. I don't think they're going to finish last in this division, but they're definitely going to finish third. I had positivity going in there, but I'm looking at their overall roster, and Bryce Young is probably going to take a step up. But other than that, I don't have much confidence in their receiving core. I think they overpaid. I think they overpaid their corner. To tell you the truth, yeah, Horn. I don't think he's that great of a corner. I don't think they have a very good defense either. I think their defense is kind of blah. So with that being said, they're going to have to score more points. And with big techs out there, I still don't know. They're having trouble with the first round draft pick that they got last year, the wide receiver. So,
Leggett.
Yeah, I'm not even sold. I'm not sold on this yet. The running back is all over the place too. Although they did get a good running back from Dallas, I give them that. But their draft pick, that their running back he's not playing at all this year either, because they misdiagnosed his. Yeah, he
tore his ACL.
Medical staff screwed up. Yeah, so I as much as I want to cheer for Carolina, they're going to be in third place. That's all I got for them.
Go ahead, Jay.
5-12. They finished last in their division.
Okay.
Until David Tepper isn't the owner, I don't think that Carolina.
Yeah, that guy, that kind of weird owner. Yeah.
And with their Make-A-Wish quarterback, sorry Sonya, but Bryce Young, I don't think he's
Make-A-Wish.
It's horrible, dude.
It's damn. I think y'all are slaughtering today.
5-12.
All right. I'm a little more positive on the Panthers. I think Bryce Young is going to take a step up. I've said before, I think he's going to be the most improved player this year. I think last year, the end of the season was a really good barometer of what he's got potential to become. He does lack offensive weapons. I mean, Leggett is a big receiver, but so is Teo McMillan. They're kind of the same guys. Thielen's kind of long in the tooth. So, their running backs, they got Rico Dabo, right? Is that who they got?
Mm-hmm.
And,
they replaced Rico Dabo basically with Miles Sanders, or replaced Miles Sanders with Rico Dabo. Yeah. I mean, we're just being real. I mean, I do like the Panthers' trajectory. I think that they do have some good core pieces. They finally addressed, hopefully, the losing Burns situation and got Nick Scorton, who I'm a big fan of.
Mm-hmm. I am too.
Horn did get overpaid. I mean, it's crazy. He's a top 5 cornerback in paid money. It's insane. I mean, I don't know what his stats are and how many picks he's had, but it's nowhere near the top 5, I would imagine. I think the Panthers could be one of those teams that they really could surprise people this year if Bryce Young is on and he shows the potential that he was drafted number 1 at Alabama, or they could just be really bad again and probably a top 5 pick. Like, I really do think it's either one or the other. But the good thing is this division sucks. We can all agree. This division sucks. And so the reality is, and I'm going to get shit for this, but I'm going to say it anyways. Potential-wise, Bryce Young is the best quarterback in this division. Okay? I'm not saying he is the best quarterback, but potential-wise, he is. If Bryce Young is taking another step forward, Bryce Young is a talented quarterback. He potentially could be really good going forward. He's still very young.
I still think that's Baker Mayfield.
Right now it's Baker, but I'm just saying the gap's not that wide. It's not. It's closer than you think. But anyways, but I mean, it's going to be a tough season for the Panthers. Hopefully they can win some games. That's another guy, Canales, the guy that they his head coach. He very well could be on the chopping block too, if they don't show some progress this year. Because they've got a lot of holes they still got to fill. So, speaking of holes, let's talk about the Saints, the Who Dat Nation. B, give me your breakdown of the Saints.
For the Saints, they're going into a year that they don't have Derek Carr because he retired. The Drew Brees experiment is been gone. They don't have Sean Payton anymore as a coach.
A lot of losses there.
A lot of things are going on. Yeah, their offense is probably going to be.
Kamara.
They got Kamara, but they also got Shook and they got Rattler. And if Rattler starts, if either one of those starts, Rattler will at least have some kind of NFL experience because he played last year. It's.
Do you start Rattler or do you start Shook?
Start Rattler.
I think you start Rattler because he's got the experience, and they say he's been looking pretty good in training camp. Again, it's training camp. They have Olave.
Yeah.
They have that. What was it, Sharif? The guy the run that wide receiver.
Is it Shakir? No.
Yeah, Shakir is freaking awesome. Yeah. They still got Kamara, but their offensive line isn't what it was. Their defense is mid. It's decent, but they lost a lot of their secondary. So, I mean, I don't see them finishing but last in this division. Sorry, James, but that's just the whole truth, nothing but the truth. I think they win about 5 games.
It's going to be a rough year for the Houdat.
It's going to be a rough year, yeah.
Jay, how do you feel about it?
Saints don't win more than 3 games this year. Watch. I think it's
3
on there.
I gave him 5. Damn, Jay.
Right now, their over-under total is 5.5. I don't think they get there.
They win 5.
So I think Spencer Rattler is going to struggle big time. I think Rattler is going to struggle big time. I just don't think that he's that guy, and I think they know he's not that guy. That's why they took that other quarterback. So, yeah, it's going to be a bad year for New Orleans fans. Buckle up.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I feel like the Saints are in a quandary because you hope that the fan base wants them to be at least watchable, and competitive. But the reality is that I think that quietly behind closed doors, they want to suck ass so bad to get Arch Manning and bring him to Louisiana.
That's what I was.
Because that's where his daddy's from.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, his daddy's from Louisiana. How crazy would that be if Arch Manning played for the Saints?
Yep.
And so, I think it's going to be tough because I think they will be competitive early on, but if they really are just terrible and don't have any wins, let's say 5 or 6 games into the season, you're going to see the full tank mode going. Like they probably will. Like I agree with Brent, they probably will trade Kamara, and try to get some more assets to maybe rebuild that offense. But it would be interesting if they get Arch because Kellen Moore is kind of a quarterback whisperer himself. He's worked with Dak, he's worked with Jalen Hurts. How crazy would that be if he got Arch Manning to work with? That would be interesting.
That'd be a really good thing for them because bringing a hometown kid.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so I think that everybody's pushing. He's also Cleveland also is there too, but I think that
he's saying he's got to save Archie Manning from Cleveland.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't think he's going to go to Cleveland, even if he is available. I don't think Cleveland's going to get them. They got too many damn quarterbacks as it is. Deshaun Watson will be back for that year. I just don't see that happening. So
yeah, they have to clean house if they want to go that route, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But all right, so that wraps up our divisions for this show. Next week or the week after next, we will be doing the West, NFC West and AFC West. So we'll talk about those. But we're going to go ahead and jump into, so we wanted to talk about the top 10 quarterbacks right now in the NFL. Not in the past, but right now. So who wants to go first with their list?
You guys can go. I have to use the restroom really quick.
Jay been drinking that water. All right, B. Go ahead and go through your list, and then we'll dissect it.
All right. So I did this based off stats of the last 5 years and basically the last year or two. Well, I did it the last 5 years. Okay. So at number 1, and amazingly enough, when I went through these stats, I'm a real big, I don't like Patrick Mahomes type person, but looking at his Las's stats in the last 5 years have been pretty damn solid, better than a lot of people's. So he is definitely at number one, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. All right.
At number two, I have Joe Burr. Joe Burr at number two. Last 5 years, he's been awesome when he's played. But he's been putting up numbers to be competitive in those 5 years to be to play 4 years basically. And so he's been up there. He's really good. Number three, I got Jared Goff. Again, another person that's underestimated in his offensive stats.
Now you're basing this on the 5 year. Your
5 years.
reason is 5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going by
basically
the whole can of worms.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
And Joe Burrow and Jared Goff are really close, by the way, as far as stats are concerned. I put Joe Burrow up there because he's the younger guy, where Jared Goff is the older guy. That's the reason why they're 2 and 3. At fourth, I have Gerald Allen at fourth.
Josh Allen.
Or Josh Allen, sorry. Josh Allen at fourth. He's been really good. At number five, Justin Herbert. His stats count. Hey, his stats been up there. He might not have had a great team, so he's not been leading his teams, but he's had the stats. And number six would be the one that you think is old and washed up, Kirk Cousins. His stats.
Oh my God!
Superb over the 5 years.
All right, Jay just showed back up. So recap real quick for Jay. And Jay,
I heard you guys.
You did? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
all
number one, you
Go
got
ahead.
Mahomes. 2, you got Burrow. 3, Allen. 4, Lamar Jackson.
No, 3 was Jared Goff. 4 was Allen. 5 is Herbert. 6 is Cousins. 7 is Dak Prescott. Remember Dak Prescott? He had one of the top offensive productions, and when he was able to be a quarterback for that team. 2 out of the 3 years he was, the last 2 of the 3 years he was number one offense.
It's a fair argument.
I got Lamar Jackson at 8, Matthew Stafford at 9, and Russell Wilson at 10.
Okay.
Now I'm going stats.
Yeah, just to preface, you are basing it on 5 years of body of work.
Body of work, yep, in 5 years. I even added in the fact that these guys went to playoff games and Super Bowls and won Super Bowls and lost.
This is interesting, B. You're telling me that Lamar Jackson's stats aren't that good compared to these other quarterbacks?
No. Surprisingly enough, when I went through his stats for the last 5 years, he had 2 MVP seasons, and in one MVP he got, his stats weren't nothing compared to last year's MVP season, which he didn't get an MVP. He was really good last year, but the year before he should have never got an MVP because he didn't have that good stats. So they kind of just switched. It's like Josh had good stats last year and didn't win the MVP, but he won it this year. I don't understand how they work that. It's stupid. But anyway, Joe Burrow should have won the damn MVP this year because he was first in passing yards. First in touchdowns.
Or less, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I ask you to take that list and kind of look at it from right now, what changes for you? If we're just talking like the best quarterbacks right now, because you're basing it on stats, the 5 years, but like if we're talking like the best quarterbacks right now in the game, who are you flopping or who are you switching?
I ain't flapping nobody because these are the best quarterbacks.
So you're gonna stick with
stats.
Okay.
I don't. The eye test thing and the playing thing, that all goes hand in hand anyway with the stats. I mean, if you look at it,
you're telling me that
if you look at it, Allen hasn't been to a Super Bowl, has he? No, has Lamar Jackson.
True,
but people always put them 1 and 2. Why? I mean, if the league was so great at saying, well, it's about wins and losses with quarterbacks and Super Bowls, but they got these guys 1 and 2 every year, but you ain't won a Super Bowl and you barely won enough playoff
that's
games.
fair.
But I'm not using that. Okay.
Right.
I'm using straight up stats.
Yeah,
Wins and
I,
losses
I,
don't mean nothing to me.
I
Super
kind of
Bowls
agree
don't mean
with your.
nothing to me.
I kind of agree with your list, honestly. The only thing that makes me kind of scratch my head is that you have Kirko over Lamar Jackson, Herbert, and Dak Prescott.
Better
Like
stat.
maybe you could argue Dak, like Kirko is better than Dak, but I think Herbert and Jackson are better than Kirko, in my opinion.
Based on what?
Well,
Because it ain't
I mean,
stats. Because stats already proved that he's better than both of them.
but the thing, okay. So the thing I would argue also too is, are you factor in the roster constructions of these quarterbacks too? Because Herbert's had the short end of the stick when it comes to offensive players and offensive-minded coaches, to where Kirk has played with a lot of good offensive minds and stacked rosters. You know, and Dak Prescott too. You know, Lamar Jackson probably, maybe not so much. I think Lamar Jackson's numbers are a little inflated because he always plays the really dominant running game.
And of course,
and
that's the factor that I didn't put in there because I was going basically off of passing yards.
I got you. Okay.
The reason why Lamar Jackson doesn't make it high on a quarterback's list to me is because he's mostly a running quarterback. When you lead the league, he's got 6,000 yards in his last 5 years as being a quarterback. 4 years of being a quarterback. 6,000 yards. That's running back numbers, basically.
Yeah,
I'm getting running back. So that takes away from his quarterback stats. I'm not saying that takes away from him as a player, but there's a reason why he doesn't make it to the big game, because they know how to attack him in the playoffs. You're not asking him to pass a lot. Force him to pass.
Right.
Because as much as they want to say, he's had 4,000 yard season, he's pretty accurate. I said, yeah, you get him outside the pocket and he runs and throws, he's deadly. You keep him inside the pocket, dude can't do nothing. He can't. He can't find nobody.
Let's talk about our boy Goff here. This is interesting because you're basing this on the last 5 years for all these quarterbacks. People are really sleeping on Goff.
They do all the time.
It's crazy, right? Because you said Goff's numbers were similar to Burrow's numbers. You know, and I would argue too, if you take playoff wins, Goff is right up there with the Mahomes and the Lamar Jacksons of the world, or Josh Allen's. I mean, like, he's got playoff. I mean, you got to remember, he went all the way to Super Bowl when he played for the Rams.
Second year, 3 years.
Yeah, and he's been to the playoffs the last 2 years, so he's only added to that total. Like, that's crazy, you know. Like,
I mean, even in the year before he got traded, he went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not crazy, like he's not a bad quarterback. He's just a boring quarterback. That's the reason. That's the word I'm looking for. He's a boring quarterback. He's a pocket quarterback. He don't run. He's not flashy.
He's not sexy.
He just gets the job done. Yeah. He's not a Lamar Jackson. He's not
a businessman. He just goes and does
Patrick
his business.
Mahomes. Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that list because I like how you went at it from the fact is that you took 5 years of stats and you compiled them into the best quarterbacks. That's interesting. I did not know Kirk Cousins was better than those other guys. That is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Jay. Tell me how you broke your list down and give me your list.
Patrick Mahomes. Can't argue with Patrick Mahomes has done wonderful things for the Kansas City Chiefs. So
yeah, I was just saying that too.
Yeah. He's been through multiple offensive coordinators, and he's still been able to keep up his level of play. So
still has Andy Reid though. Andy Reid is still his coach.
That's a big thing.
That's his scheme, absolutely. But at number 2, I got Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, man, he put up some good stats, and he went to the Cincinnati Bengals, and he changed that whole organization. If anybody remember, Andy Dalton was just like good enough to just get them to a certain point, but Joe Burrow put him over the top. And that year he came off of that horrific leg injury, dude went to the Super Bowl. Went to the Super Bowl. So I'd say Joe Burrow. He's been always consistently winning. He's beaten some of the top quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, in the same division of him. He is the second best quarterback in the league, no doubt. Number 3, I got Josh Allen. Why do I have Josh Allen? Is because I'm looking at his athleticism. I'm looking at the way he runs the offense, his stats. I look at it all together. Josh Allen is a freak athlete. At times, he can play like the best quarterback in the league. And then, he can play like, 4th, 5th best quarterback in the league. But
plays that hero ball.
Say that again.
He plays that hero ball.
Yeah, he plays hero ball, and I think that's kind of his fault. You don't need to play hero ball. He can, but he don't need to. We got a bunch of playmakers. At number 4, I got Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. I know he turns into a pumpkin in the playoffs, but I also think that's just a part of the Ravens collapsing. But Lamar Jackson, MVP, kind of tells you at that time he may have been the best quarterback in the league, or at least played like it. At 5, I know I'm going to get killed for this, but I got Jalen Hurts. Why do I have Jalen Hurts there? It's because when they lose games, it's not because of an issue that he had made. It may have been miscommunication. Defense gave up some points. But if you look at some of his stats, he's been a consistent 3,000-yard passer besides last year. You know, he does not turn the ball over a lot. He's not a pocket quarterback, but his athleticism gives him that boost, right? Like, he's asked to do certain things that other quarterbacks aren't do, like the tush push. Lower your head, go get that first down. That's a leader right there. You know, a couple touchdowns they gotten was off of the tush push, and Jalen Hurts was the reason for that. You know, so I got Jalen Hurts that's 5. At 6, I got Dak Prescott. It pains me to say it, but Dak Prescott is a good player when he's healthy and when the stars are aligned. Dak Prescott can be very cerebral. He can be an assassin back there in the pocket. You know, now he has, what's his name, George Pickens. You got 2 good receivers now.
Yeah.
I think Dak Prescott's going to do really well. At number 7, I got Jared Goff. No one other than Jared Goff. Jared Goff, stats speak for himself, man. I think his only knock is he isn't mobile. But Jared Goff is a killer in the pocket. And if he can just limit the turnovers, man, Jared Goff could possibly be in the top 3 if he can limit his turnovers. At number 7, this is 8. At 8, I got Jordan Love. I got Jordan Love, man. I know y'all think that. Jordan Love.
Explain this one, sir.
You were good all the way until you got there, bro. You were
Hold on, hear me out. Look.
Even the Jalen Hurts wins kind of got me scratching my head, but you really got me with Jordan Love.
Explain Jordan Love, please.
I hate Jordan Love with a passion because of the team he played for, but one, he's a good kid. I mean, he's not cocky. He don't go out trying to play cocky or anything. And he completes the assignments when they put it in front of him. I think one of their biggest knocks is the Packers did not have a true number 1 wide receiver. They never really did after Devontae Adams. It's been just a couple of utility players. Now you got Matthew Golden. You don't need Jaden Reed to be a number 1 receiver.
They hope Watkins would have been that guy, but the guy can't stay healthy.
He can't stay healthy. They never really had a guy. Jordan Love, I think he can play really well. I mean, he's not going to go out and pass for 5,000-6,000 yards every season, right? Or get 50 touchdowns, but he is a good player. I put him at 8. At 9, I got Matthew Stafford. Only reason is that he's getting older, but he can still swing the ball. He's still a really good leader in McVay's offense. So, 10, Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
What did he say? Go back to the other one. Go back to the other one, B.
No, he was at Love at 8.
Yeah. Hey, look,
no, he did. He did get Watkins hurt because he swing that ball.
Yeah. You know, Robbie, think about this. Last year, Jordan Love missed a couple of games because of a knee injury. He still went out there and he was winning games. Now, obviously, they got swept by the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions, but who else did they have on that offense to give him help? You know, Josh Jacobs, he had to go out there and play a lot of hero ball, right? Because Jordan Love was injured. You have Malik Willis step in, and what happened?
What is Jordan Love's strength?
Jordan Love's strength is being able to fit balls in tight windows. Pause. But he can do that. He really can. If you give him a clean pocket, he can tear it up from the pocket too. I give him his respect.
Let me tell you the reason why I disagree with Jordan Love at 8 or even being on this list in the first place. He has an offensive line. And he has a running back. And I mean a good running back, a top 5 running back on that line. When you have those 2 elements in there, I don't give a damn who the hell you're throwing to. And he had two good tight ends to throw to too. You got to remember that Tyler Kraft and
He's
Mustard,
not asked to do.
right?
He's not asked to do a lot. I agree.
He's not asked to do a lot. And the problem with him now, I understand kind of last year because of his injury, and I think Green Bay handled that the wrong way. They shouldn't have played him in certain games, like the one against Detroit when it was in Green Bay. He shouldn't have been playing that game, or he should have been. He should not have been playing that game. You could see he wasn't right. Period. But he makes a lot of bad decisions too. When he is healthy, he makes a lot of
airballs a lot of passes.
He thinks he can.
He lacks
things
touch.
in tight windows.
Yeah.
He thinks he can fit things in tight windows, but he can't. So I mean, those things got to improve. And when you brought in Malik Willis and Malik Willis was tearing it up with that offense, you can bring him in there and he can win games.
Well, that just shows how good the offense is. That shows how good the offense is because literally Malik Willis comes in and wins as many games as Jordan Love does, and because he's loaded, you know.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But see, I would say the same thing about Jalen Hurts too.
That's crazy.
Jalen Hurts is on a stacked offense.
Like a top 15, I would have Purdy at like 11 or 12. That's kind of funny. When you say the same thing with Jalen Hurts, like Jalen Hurts has been on stacked rosters his whole career, even when in college years, like he hasn't been asked to do a lot. Yep. When you have that damn good defense, you have that damn good eye line, you have that running back, you have the receivers. Those two though, Jalen Hurts does not turn the ball over as much as Jordan Love do. You know, Jalen Hurts just don't turn the ball over. He's very secure with.
Well, he's not throwing the ball either a lot either. So it's
he can still fumble, right? Jalen Hurts can still fumble. He takes off a lot. You know, he's very durable.
Well, he lost the Super Bowl doing that, so
he's very durable.
And the year before the Super Bowl, he was terrible at turning over the ball. He turned over the ball at a high rate.
And he got to 2 Super Bowls, man. And I really do believe now this past year, I do believe that the defense really carried them a lot. Obviously, we know that.
100%.
The year before,
Super Bowl,
their offense was humming. They've had Devontae Smith. He can hit Devontae Smith. AJ Brown, 60, 70 yards.
To B's point, like when you look at Jordan Love and you look at Jalen Hurts, they have a good roster construction around them. Mm-hmm. They have a good O-line. They have good weapons. They have good running backs. They have good coaching, all that stuff. They're not asked to do a lot. They're just asked not to fuck it up. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, that's literally what their responsibility is. Like, hey, just don't mess it up. Don't turn into Superman. You don't have to be Superman. See, that's the thing with Lamar is Lamar needs to know when to be Superman and when not to be Superman. Mm-hmm. Because when he gets to the playoffs, he wants to be Superman. That's where he screws up because he tries to do too much.
In the playoffs, you know, ball. You got those.
The windows are a lot shorter, and you have less margin for error. You know, like I think Jordan Love's a better passer than Hurts is. You know. Because he does, when he's got a clean pocket, he can throw a really good deep ball. There's no doubt about that. He's got the arm strength to do that. Absolutely. But he lacks a touch. Like any Whacker fan will tell you that he lacks touch on short throws. He'll either airmail it, overthrow it, because he's got such a strong arm. He doesn't know what the touch factor is. You know, he airmails passes that are short. You know, and I think a lot of it's his footing too.
That's true. That is true. I agree with you on that. But B, did I hear you say you disagree with Baker Mayfield at 10?
No. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield actually should. Well, I didn't even have it on my list, but his stats weren't. They were okay, but they weren't top 10 level. But that's good. You put Baker up there. Baker's the last couple of years. Baker been the man. Yeah. Baker's been on. He's been one of the top 5. If I broke my stats down to years. The last 2 years, Baker Mayfield's been
some of the best
top 5 quarterback. Yeah, he's been a top 5 quarterback in the league.
Exactly.
Baker Mayfield can be a bit of a knucklehead sometimes. He can be.
He's dialed it down. He's got moxie, man. I love the moxie in him.
You know what? He's found a place he can play football at in Tampa Bay, and I think that's
team that believes in him like Goff.
Confidence. Gotten his confidence together, and that's all we really need. Just like the Lions with Goff. Goff got his confidence back up, and that's why Goff is such a successful guy. And please don't keep saying that the knock on Goff is he's not mobile. It's not a knock. He's just not mobile. That's the kind of quarterback he is.
I guess what I was saying is I think that's the reason why I don't have him in the top 5. And all the guys.
But that's biased because they can run. That's not fair to Goff.
Say that again.
It's biased because you're favoring running quarterbacks over a guy who can literally be an assassin from the pocket.
Let's more so like this. Patrick Mahomes is not a running quarterback, but he can use his legs. We have seen that.
He can escape at times, yeah.
Number 2, at Joe Burrow, he's definitely not a mobile quarterback, but he uses his legs, right? 3, I had Josh Allen. I mean, he can do either or. You want him to run or you want him to pass. He can do both. Lamar Jackson, kind of the same deal. And at 4, who else did I have at 4? I think I had Jalen Hurts at there.
I think 5 with Jalen Hurts.
No, I had Jalen Hurts. He's kind of the same way.
Oh, okay.
Now, he don't just pass the ball. He don't pass the ball 35, 40 times a game, but he can pass the ball and he can.
But let me push back real quick because I think this is a big argument when they talk about quarterbacks. What is more expected in the NFL coming in? Running the football, like more expected for the quarterbacks, throwing from the pocket, or running with the ball when you're a quarterback?
I would say throwing from the pocket.
Exactly. So if you take Jared Goff and you put his stats up against the top quarterbacks, he's literally top 5, top 3 in passing. Like he literally can throw lights out from the pocket, like Joe Burrow could.
Back with that one. Let me push back a little bit. Now, when you drop him back in the pass, you drop back and you got defenders in your face. Do you go down? Do you see any of the quarterbacks on there and go down, or do you see him step up and either make a play, throw the ball, or
Jared Goff has stepped up in the pocket when pressure has been allotted. I mean, just watch that Minnesota game. He had to finagle some movement. Now he's not going to run around, but here's the thing: running around and stepping up in the pocket are two different things.
I'm going to give you 3 examples of why I think that is not true. One was against Washington. He was getting hit quite often in Washington, right? With Washington. 2, Buffalo. Kind of the same.
I disagree with that whole. He wasn't getting hit.
Washington?
No.
Bro, he got
the offensive line getting hit any more than he got hit against Minnesota in the game before that. Goff just had a bad game. He had a bad game. There was a play where he threw an interception, dude. Here's a play he threw an interception where the pocket was clean, and the interception was to a cornerback where the wide receiver was nowhere near. So he just had a bad game. That was, and he said that it's his bad.
And you could remember the 2023 game. That game, I'm gonna point out Chicago and Green Bay when we played Green Bay on Thanksgiving. You know, like they were having him doing drills where he was like jumping over the little blocks because they're like, hey, he said, I heard nothing about air yards. Yeah, Jared Goff, air yards is good though.
Oh yeah.
Jared Goff, air yards is
But really the thing about it is, like, I don't care what anybody says. If you can't throw from the pocket, you're not a good quarterback, period. Yeah. Because the quarterbacks are not made to, we don't care about the running stats. You talk about Lamar Jackson.
If you can't make big passing decisions from the quarterback, from the pocket, then you're not a good quarterback.
Absolutely.
You can throw. But if you sit in Lamar has this problem all the time. He's in the pocket, but his first instinct is to run if he can't get it to this first receiver. Right. That's every year. And people just let that go because he's such a phenomenal athlete and he can make something happen out of nothing. That gets overlooked. But the reason why he does that is because he never finds his second receiver or his third receiver.
He's looking to run, like you said. He's looking to run.
Again, good quarterbacks are not good. Good quarterbacks aren't because they necessarily have great receivers. You have to make that happen.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, Kenny Galladay. That's all I got to say. Yeah. Kenny Galladay wasn't a great receiver, obviously, because he went to the Giants and he sucked. So you make receivers.
Let me push back on
Stafford in his prime. As much as I hated how he turned the ball over, he used to sling that thing.
Well, he had the arm talent that Jared Goff doesn't have. They're two different quarterbacks. But let me push back on Jared Goff because I think a lot of people say this about him. Look, there's a reason why the Lions don't give up a lot of sacks every year. 2 reasons. One, we have a damn good O-line. There's no doubt about that. We protect the hell out of the ball. Or we protect our quarterback. Second of all, Jared Goff is really good about stepping up in the pocket and making things happen when pressure is all around him. The only time he really has Goffle moments is when he tries to run around because he runs the wrong way a lot of times, or he doesn't hold the ball very, 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 very tightly. But the thing is that for the most part, if Jared Goff doesn't step up in the pocket or maneuver his way through pressure, we would have a lot more sacks because the guy's a statue, you know? So you got to give him credit for his footwork. When he sees pressure coming, he steps up. Watch the Minnesota game. Perfect example. They ran everything at Jared Goff, the kitchen sink, and Jared Goff would just step up, maneuver himself, watch where his blocks are going, and then zip it.
In the Seattle game,
I
when he
agree
played
with that.
when he played in the Seattle game where he was getting rushed from the opposite side of him, he did a spin move and still got a pass.
I remember that. That was another good ass
yeah.
but I remember that.
He's
Yeah,
good, but I think his pocket awareness is great, phenomenal. And
which
he
is
can
what
move
needs
around in
what
the
you
pocket,
need to
but
win in the NFL. You need to have pocket awareness and be able to throw from the pocket.
But hold on. Sometime I'm not. When I say use your legs, I'm not saying run and pick up a first down. What I'm telling you is like if you have people on your back, you need to be able to get away from that trouble. Like all those quarterbacks I named could get out of trouble. And just because you're mobile, that doesn't mean you necessarily can do that because Caleb Williams got killed last year. And he's mobile, right? But I look at it in the sense of like Jared Goff stumbles. That's how they got away with that free play in Chicago because Chicago really thought that he fumbled and stumbled with the ball. You know, because Jared Goff can do that, right? Like a perfect example, like when they played Green Bay and Detroit had to pick up that last first down and they handed it off to David Montgomery. What happened?
He got tripped, dude.
Fell. He tripped.
He got tripped. Yeah, somebody tripped him, but that's not his fault.
But you get what
that's
I'm
like if I
saying?
trip you
That
on the
goes
street.
along with footwork, and that kind of goes along.
I think
That has nothing to do with footwork. If
They
somebody
stepped
steps on your foot,
yeah,
it happens all the time. You know better than that. Come on, Jay. It happens all the time.
You
with
can turn your
quarterbacks
leg
that get
outside the
stepped
fucking
on.
house.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens to Lamar Jackson. I've seen him get his foot stepped on by Derrick Henry actually, and he went down for a sack.
Absolutely.
It happens. Doesn't
And the
make a
thing-
difference how active you are, how athletic you are. That happens. It happens.
And the thing is too with Jared Goff is that as a fan of the Lions, I'm okay with Jared taking a sack. It's okay. Tom Brady made a career that if shit broke down, he took a sack. Peyton Manning did the same thing. They knew they couldn't move. They took sacks. You know, here's the thing. If you can't get rid of the ball and the pressure's coming, take the sack. My only thing is hold on to the fucking football. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Take the sack.
I think if there's
punt the
anything
ball,
about Goff right there,
Hold on
that
to the
his
football.
ball security is crap.
Yes.
When he
Which
really
contributed to
he
fumbles the ball a lot. Yeah.
It was contributed to one of the turnovers in the Commanders game because he fumbled the ball,
Mm-hmm.
in not a prime position to be fumbling the ball.
And I think he's got tiny.
That's
hands
why I
too,
said
that's
he just had a bad game in that one. I don't think it had anything. It had nothing to do with the line, to tell you the truth. I think the line played pretty good. In the beginning of the game, they weren't the greatest, but they came together. They put 31. They still put 31 points on that board. He still threw for 2 touchdowns in that game. So,
and I think Jay, if you're talking about that Commanders game, he might have anticipated the pressure coming to him before it came to him, and he airmailed the passes because that pick six was an airmail.
Like B just said, he had a bad game.
He had a bad game.
He had a bad game, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. Sometimes it's just that sometimes I feel like that the taking when you need to use your legs is there, but Jared Goff just can't do it. That was my knock on Tom Brady. Like Tom Brady had a couple yards that he could have picked up for, but he didn't because he couldn't run. He'd get hawked down.
And you know what? The funny thing is, they still fucking win. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, this isn't like a win or lose thing. It's just like
I get it. I get it.
Debate of quarterbacks. I put Jared Goff in that second tier of quarterbacks.
And I think also too, we're all prisoners of the moment in football. We can all agree on that. Like we all focus on what's the now is rather than the later or the before. And we have this recency bias with running quarterbacks because we see these plays where they throw off platform 30 or 40 yards downfield, with all the defenders in their face, and it looks awesome. Not every quarterback can do that. But it is shifting that way going forward. But the thing is that it's not always the best mechanics to do that. You know, OCs and coaches will tell you, we don't want you throwing those ways. We don't want you throwing on the other side of the bow because that usually ends up in a pick.
Yep.
You know, and a lot of these young quarterbacks, they think they can get every throw they make is going to be gold, and that's not the case. We talk about Jordan Love. Jordan Love has that aspect of his game. Lamar Jackson has that aspect of his game. Caleb Williams has that aspect of his game. They all think that because they're so talented, they can make any throw, when the reality is that they should just play within the game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Hurts was the first running quarterback to do it.
in what sense? What's he talking about?
Yeah, I'm
The
confused
tush push
on-
or what?
Are you talking about tush push?
Tush push or running on
Look,
like,
look,
run?
And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
When he explains himself, I'm gonna say this about the tush push. I can't be impressed with a guy who gets 1 yard every play. When you have a line that's strong, and you're that strong in your legs, like, dude, it's 1 yard. Like,
But why can't they do that, and why can't you give them the credit? Because it's easy to line up a big person right there, you know, and put them right in the middle to make sure you don't get that, right? But Jalen Hurts gets that first down or he gets that touchdown every single time.
yeah, but when
That's
you're
why
talking,
teams wanted it banned.
okay, but when you're talking about some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, a guy who gets most of his touchdowns by just running 1 yard is not impressive to me. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, a lot of it. I mean, we talked about. Remember when Jamal Williams had like 18 touchdowns in a season for us? They were from the 1 yard.
I gave him credit because you can line up a heavy package and have a nose guard. You can have some big beef up front, and they can stop your guys. Jamal Williams did it. Hey, I give him all the credit in the world. I give anybody who can score, and even if it takes 3-4 tries, but you still score, I give you all the credit in the world.
I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback.
Uh-oh. My bad.
His food's ready. I'm not saying he's not a bad quarterback, B. The thing is that when we're talking about some of the best quarterbacks in the game, I take a lot of those quarterbacks over Hurts all day. And it's because of pocket awareness. It's because, like, when Hurts is not on schedule, he sucks. The stats show it. Like, he is one of the worst quarterbacks when it's 3rd and long. Why? Because the fucker can't throw in the pocket. That is not his strength. His strength is to be on schedule, to get to those 3rd and 4s or 3rd and 5s and do his thing, whether it's a short pass, whether it's the tush push, whatever it is. When he is not on schedule, he is terrible. Mm-hmm. Terrible. Like, simple as that.
I just think that a lot of these things are overblown because it sells tickets. It looks good when they're doing it. I mean, it's good that, I mean, I understand the new age quarterback is a runner, but at the same time, you don't see too many of those quarterbacks win Super Bowls. And like Steve-O was saying, you know, Hurts was one of the first ones to do it. I think I wouldn't say he was one of the first ones. I think Elway was a running quarterback.
Lamar Jackson was, dude. Lamar Jackson. I'm not Lamar Jackson. Sorry. Yeah, I guess he was. Yeah.
Donovan McNabb was kind of a running quarterback, and but he didn't win the Super Bowl. He was in a Super Bowl. It's the team around him too that helps out. Like Lamar Jackson last year, I can't blame him for losing that game against Buffalo. Can't blame him for losing.
Can't blame him. Buffalo. He had 2 picks himself.
Well, when he had it account for a 2-point conversion. The guy that Mark Andrews dropped the ball. That was a bigger play, but Lamar Jackson turned over the ball too in the game. That's true, but
Lamar Jackson does choke in the playoffs. Like the year before last, when they played Kansas City at home, they were the #1 seed, and Lamar Jackson turned the ball up.
Well, it's because what B said. You put him in the pocket and ask him to throw the ball. That's not his game.
Oh,
he's
man.
not trying. That's not what he's trying to do.
If you remember, what happened was, okay, yeah, right. If you put him in the pocket, thing is that remember he was getting rushed, and Chris Jones came up behind him and slapped the ball from behind his hands.
Yeah,
you know, like it. it's hard for Lamar Jackson. I don't know what it is, but he got to get over that hump, man.
And we know first and foremost, if Goff doesn't turn over the ball that many times, they beat the Commanders, hands down. Like almost all their
but looking at the score, it was 45 to 31, but seven of those points came off of a pick six.
Yeah,
so it's really 38 to 31, and he had a very atrocious game. Think about that.
The defense didn't do him any favors either.
Yeah, and the defense was not.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's the thing is when we talk about the best quarterbacks, I said this about Hurts to you, Jay. Like you put Hurts in Goff's situation with half a defense all season. Does he win 15 games with the Lions? Because the reality is that Goff had to. Hold on. Let me finish. Goff had to win games himself because of the lack of defense.
I won't say he did it by himself because I'm going to pose a question.
Well, he had the rest of the offense. Yeah.
I'm going to say, yes, he can. If you just switch them out, I'm going to say, yes, he can. Why? Because let's do a comparison. Who do you think is better between A.J. Brown and Amon-Ra St. Brown?
But I'm talking about if you take Hurts.
Hold on, Nate. Who do you think better between J-Mo and Devontae Smith?
That'd be even to me.
Yeah, probably even.
Probably even, right?
On the even,
so combined, you got David Montgomery, who's a workhorse, and then you got Jahmyr Gibbs. Whereas over there you have Saquon Barkley. Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Then let's factor in also having Sam Laporta here, having Brock Wright. Whereas who's the tight end over in Philly?
Dallas Goedert.
Is it Dallas Goedert still?
Yeah, Dallas Goedert when he's healthy, and he wasn't healthy all last season.
But here's and I get where you're getting with this, Jay. But this is what I'm trying to say is that when you look at the situation between Goff and Hurts, Goff had to win games with his arm. When has Jalen Hurts really had to win games with his arm? I mean, me and B were talking. Yeah, me and B.
My bad. Go ahead.
Right, but me and B were talking about this when you had to deal with whatever smoke thing you're going on. The thing is that when Hurts is on schedule, he's fine because he can make the short passes, he can do the tush push, he's effective. Mm-hmm. When Hurts is in long down and distance, like 7 and higher yards, he's terrible because he's not a good thrower from the pocket in those situations. You think Jared Goff could get out of those situations? Hell yeah, he can. He can sling it anywhere in the field.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to downplay Jared Goff because Jared Goff is our guy and he's really good. But if you switch the situations, like the 15 games was an anomaly, and I don't really think it means much. Why? Because we played a bad AFC. Was it South? We played a bad AFC South with the Jaguars, with the Titans, with all the Colts and everything.
And who did the Eagles play? The Eagles played a shit schedule themselves.
No, they played some good teams. They even beat Baltimore.
So did we. We beat good teams. We had no.
Yeah, but then they played the NFC South.
Yeah.
So that tells you everything right there. And they lost to Tampa Bay, and they lost to Atlanta. Yeah. We played the NFC South the year before and swept them.
I agree. But, I think that our schedule was a little bit easier than,
Who cares?
But, I mean, really what I'm trying to say is, all in all, is that the 15 games was an anomaly. Why? Because it didn't really result in anything. And with us winning 15 games.
But the 15 games is irrelevant. But what I'm saying is, Goff had to win us some games with his arm.
Whereas I think
Hurts hasn't done that.
12, 13 games last season.
On the back of Saquon Barkley and the defense.
I won't say it's all because of Saquon. It was a good part of Saquon, but I ain't gonna say it's all.
It's a damn good part of it.
And yeah, of course.
Your running back went for 2,000 yards.
I'm gonna put it to you this way, Jay. Watch Hurts against Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. Both years they played him, including the playoffs, and then watch him against Atlanta too. They had a chance to beat Atlanta in that game, and Jalen Hurts did not get it done because he had the ball just before Kirk Cousins did. This is where this is what I'm telling you. Y'all want to bag on Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins won that game. Okay. He was slinging the rock in that game.
We also played like ass in the beginning of that game, too.
Yeah, but hey, they won it.
No, I agree. That was one of his best games of the season. I will agree with you. But the thing is, like I said, with Hurts.
Yeah, you tripping, bro.
Yeah, no, hell no. Not even close.
He's a San
But-
Francisco guy.
Yeah, it's all good. But the thing is, like, it's not a knock against Hurts that his game is not needed as much as you're asking other quarterbacks like a Joe Burrow, a Jared Goff, a Josh Allen to do, a Lamar Jackson. He's just on a stacked roster. He was like that with Alabama.
So
You look at Alabama's team; he was damn good. I'm surprised he got
Jared Goff
benched.
is on the stack roster too. I mean, one of the, I'd say, 2 to 3 best rosters in the league.
Okay,
Right now.
That-
Who's that?
Heads and shoulders.
Jared
Jared
Goff.
Goff.
For Cal?
No.
not
No.
Cal, but you talk about his.
No.
But the
But
thing
you,
is,
you said about
yeah,
Hey, and just remember, I know it's not about wins or losses or who you play, but remember, Patrick Mahomes hasn't beaten Goff ever.
Yep.
You're right. Absolutely.
and okay,
Now I know they don't play. They don't play defense against each other or anything like that, and it's based on their teams. But you got to think about that. It's weird. It's weird.
It's a weird.
Kinda.
I think at times when I see Jalen Hurts, I see Cam Newton, and I thought the same thing with Cam Newton.
That is so true right there.
Yeah, Cam Newton was a guy who you didn't ask him to do a lot because he was a big motherfucker who could run 7-8 yards on to first down, and he could throw it downfield like 80 yards.
Cam Newton, was a freak thing.
but he couldn't hit the easy passes. He couldn't hit the touch passes. Like when he was on script, he was damn good. When he was off script, he was fucking terrible.
MVP, and he was a Super Bowl. He should have hopped
Yeah,
on that.
just
I don't
watch
care what
the
nobody
Denver
thinks.
game, how they shut his ass down.
All right, Steve-O. Now you're being ridiculous. Goff is not like
Come
Jimmy
on,
G.
man.
Come
Not
on,
even
dude.
close.
Get out of here.
Haters
Way better
in there. All right.
stats. He does better with his football team than Jimmy G does. Come on, Jimmy G. The only reason why Jimmy G was as successful because you had a hell of an offense and an offensive line with San Francisco and a really good defense.
Yeah, if that's the case, then Jimmy G would have gone number 1 overall in the draft. Like, Goff has talent. People need to stop with this.
Absolutely.
He sucks. He's not
Anybody
talented.
who
He went
argues
number
that-
1 for a freaking
Anybody
reason.
who argues that Jared Goff has talent.
If you watch Cal, when he was at Cal, the guy was
how do
slinging
you
darts
even
everywhere.
fix your mouth to say those words? Unless you're trolling, you can troll. That's fine. But how do you even fix your mouth to say Jared Goff is like Jimmy G? Come on, man.
All right.
Come on, man.
Let me get to my list because we're getting ready to wrap the show up soon. All right, so mine, I'm basing it just right now. I don't care about what the past is. I'm basing it right smack dab right now. Who I feel is the best.
Okay.
So number 1, monkey's gonna smile. Josh Allen. Listen, Josh Allen is an anomaly. You've never seen a guy with that kind of speed, that kind of size, that kind of arm strength, that toughness, whatever you want to say about him, any accolade. He is the best quarterback in the NFL right now, period. I'm not basing it on championships. I'm not basing it on wins or whatever. I am basing it purely right now. He is the best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion, hands down. Second, Patrick Mahomes speaks for itself. Guy's got multiple championships. He struggled lately because his weapons are not as good. I think he'll have a bounce back year this year. He's got Andy Reid still. I think it's a huge him and have a good marriage together. So he's still number 2 in my opinion. I just take Josh Allen over Patrick just from the pure stance of athleticism and skill. Like Josh Allen could rip the ball from 90 yards on the field. Patrick has to have certain things have to happen in order for that to be done. You know what I'm saying? I just like Josh Allen's a specimen. That's just me. Okay. Number 3, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. I don't know if he'll ever win a Super Bowl. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if he'll ever win, but he's going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks to play in the game. 6,000 yards rushing. He's been a better passer. He's electrifying. There is no defense to stopping Lamar Jackson. I don't care what anybody says. You pray that he trips and falls, but there's no stopping him. When he gets going, he's gone. Yeah, but even the pocket, he can either beat you with the deep ball or he could beat you with his leg. So, I mean, that's probably the best way to try to beat him, but it's not always effective. So, you got some really good pass rushers. All right, number 4, Joe Burrow. I like Joe Burrow a lot. I think Joe Burrow is a quarterback that a lot of people don't give a lot of credit to because of the team he's on. Unfortunately, I think Joe Burrow's becoming Matt Stafford when he was in Detroit. Really good quarterback, a lot of talent, just bad roster. And I don't know if he's gonna win a Super Bowl himself. But he's gonna go down as one of the best statistical quarterbacks because the guy's got all talent up the wazoo. But he just has no defense. His best two players are receivers. It's just like Matt Stafford. Like when Matt Stafford had Calvin. That was it. He had no defense. He had no running game. That's Joe Burrow right now. He's trajecting that path. So, but I still love his talent. I think he's a hell of a quarterback. Number 5, Matt Stafford. Listen, Matt Stafford is ahead of Jared Goff because he has a ring. That's it. I put Matt Stafford ahead of him because of the ring. If Matt Stafford didn't have the ring, Jared Goff and them would be 1 and 2.
Because I think you weren't doing that, for championships or anything like that. I thought you.
Well, I know that one. But honestly, to be he can still. He's a gamer. Like his moxie too. The way he plays the game, the way he played the Eagles game, he's got that demeanor, like that killer mentality. Like that's one thing about Goff is so even keel, so business-like. He doesn't have that assassin mentality like Matthew Stafford does. You know what I'm saying? It's just two different demeanors, but they're both successful quarterbacks. 6 is Jared Goff. Jared Goff is, he's one of the best quarterbacks out there that nobody talks about because of the fact he's Jared Goff. The great thing about Jared Goff is the worst thing about Jared Goff.
They talk about him. They just don't talk about him in the way that they talk about Stafford and Lamar Jackson and stuff like that.
And I think
flashy guy.
Right, and I think a lot of it has to do with the personas. Because Stafford comes in with the moxie, comes in with more of the flair, his game, like you said, the lively arm. To where Jared Goff is just a technician. That's the best way to describe Goff. He's a technician. He just keeps doing his thing. That's it. It kind of can be robotic at times, but it's effective. To where Matt Stafford is like an anomaly himself. Like people forget that Matt Stafford was Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes even existed. He was throwing the no-look passes. He was throwing those ad-lib off-platform. Come on, Jay. You know that. You saw that in Detroit, or maybe you did. I don't know. But he was the first guy to really throw in those kind of quirks to the passing game. And then Patrick came along. So, anyways. All right. Number 7. I'm surprised none of y'all said this guy. Jaden Daniels. All right. Jaden Daniels is a damn good quarterback. And yes, I know it's his rookie year. But
that's why he didn't get included.
Okay.
Too early to tell.
It is too early to tell. But when you're talking about the pecking order, I think Jaden Daniels, tape 1, I think he's only going to get better. With Cliff Kingsbury, adding Deebo Samuel, this guy very well could be in the MVP talks at the end of the season. I really think this guy is that good. I could be wrong, but I would you see a guy with that kind of poise and that ability to throw with that much pressure at his feet, those are traits you don't see in a lot of quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Those are huge. Keeping calm, ice water in your veins. When the pressure's coming, hey, I can beat you. Those are huge. And I think he's on that trajectory. So we'll see. 8, Jalen Hurts. Listen, I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's a good quarterback. I just think that he's a prospect of a really, really good roster and a really good offensive line. If he improves as a passer, that rating will go up because that's the only knock of his game. Leadership is high quality. He can run the ball. That's quality. He takes care of the ball. That's quality. Passing from the pocket when it matters the most, being down in games and taking his team and winning games. I need to see that from Jalen Hurts. I need to see some adversity. When I see some adversity and I see him overcoming that adversity, that's where he's going to jump up. Because he's already got a Super Bowl ring. He was in one before. That's already taken care of with his career. He could do nothing else, and he's still going to be in the talks for, whatever, like a champion. So, anyways, Justin Herbert. I like Justin Herbert a lot. I think Justin Herbert, you're going to see the best Justin Herbert going with Jim Harbaugh. Even though they have a solidified running game, there's a reason why they paid Rashawn Slater and they drafted Joe Alt. Those are 2 bookend tackles that will not let Justin Herbert get sacked. And if Justin Herbert's got a clean pocket, that's one of the best throwers that nobody talks about. Like if you watched him at Oregon and watch him coming out of Oregon, his tape was some of the best that they've seen from prospects. Like give him the time and he will light you up. And then number 10, CJ Stroud. See, this is a big year for CJ Stroud. I like his mechanics. It's funny because a lot of people's comp on CJ Stroud is Jared Goff, which I can kind of see the comparison because the way they throw from the pocket, they're more of a passer. CJ Stroud's probably got a little bit more wheels than Jared Goff does for sure, but they're very boring kind of quarterbacks. They just are mechanical. They just keep doing the same thing over and over again. But I like CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud could very well, if he has a really good year and they win the division, you're going to be hearing about CJ Stroud in the AFC. The problem is the AFC stacked the quarterbacks. You got Burrow, you've got Allen, you've got Jackson, you've got Mahomes, you got Herbert. Like CJ Stroud falls like 6 or 7 in that pecking order. So, but a strong year, he could have an even better year. So that's mine. Any thoughts?
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
That's a solid one. That's solid.
All right.
Don't any surprises like Jordan Love in there, but anyway.
Oh dear. All right. Well, we're gonna get ready to wrap this puppy up. We're gonna do the Get Mad Bro real quick, and then we're gonna send y'all off. Thank you for still being here. It's been a long show, but it's been good stuff. You know, we hadn't been on for 2 weeks, so it's exciting to.
And there's our troller.
There we go.
There.
Man, get this fool out of here, man.
What's going on, John? How you doing, man?
Man, get this dork out of
Green Bay gonna finish first this year.
Okay, John. Horrible in big games. Maybe in the past that's been his narrative, but the thing is that he hasn't done. I mean, outside of the Commanders game, he's won in big games. He was the reason why we got to the championship. So I don't agree with that. And he's had more wins than Jordan Love has. So shut the hell up.
And it wasn't Goff's fault that they lost that.
No, Goff played really well. That was Gibbs fumbling the ball. That ball hitting the face mask off of Vildor. Like, come on.
Purdy played a good game in that one. But
Yeah, Purdy.
He did good in that playoff game. I'm not going to take nothing away from him, but he's saying that he should be in the top 10. Come on, dude.
We couldn't contain Purdy in that aspect.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, Brent. I think there's a lot of meat on the bone still for him. Oh, by the way, the 49er fan, I'm sure you'll be excited about this. The Lions just signed Eli Apple.
No way, really?
Yeah.
You just said Eli Apple?
Yeah, toast.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's a camp body because he's definitely not going to be a.
You don't know it. It can't. Your window can't close when you draft so well. So shut up. Anyways, all right, let's go to you, Mad. I'm ready.
Go for it. Let's see. Hold on, man.
Gotta give me the heat. All right, welcome to you, Mad. Listen, this is kind of a little bit of late news, but I mean, we didn't have a show last week. So, unless you're a rock, you heard that Teddy Bridgewater suspended. And you know, the one thing I love about sports, and one thing I hate about sports is that you don't always get the full story. So when I heard Teddy Bridgewater got suspended for illegal benefits or whatever the hell they want to call it, I was like, come on, Teddy. And then I read more into it. And dude, Teddy was spending his own money to buy them equipment, to buy them meals, all this other stuff. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, as a school organization, for a guy to spend his own hard-earned money for these kids to give them a better life, and you suspend him? What the fuck? Come on, man. You can't be doing that crap, man. I mean, what kind of message are you sending for people that actually help other people out? You know, and I get it. It's a rule. You can't give benefits or whatever the hell it is. That's so wrong, man. Teddy Bridgewater, out of the goodness of his heart, was giving these kids opportunity and making them feel better. We don't know where these kids came from. They could have came from broken families or difficult situations. And this might have been the best thing that Teddy could have gave him. And the fact that you suspend him, come on, man. And he gave you a championship? I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. It's so sad that, you know, that people...
You're good. You're good.
Okay. Cool. It's so sad that people will do that, you know, because in this world, everybody needs some help sometimes. And the fact is that this guy who, let's be honest, he's barely an NFL player. He's not even in the NFL right now. He's taking his own money and he's giving it to these kids. How is that wrong? I don't know, y'all. I mean, what do y'all think about it? Because that pissed me off, man. Such a bullshit situation by the high school. And I hate it. Go ahead.
Well, just think about like this. I mean, he did break rules.
Yeah,
that's fair. He broke rules.
But at the same time, you should right, and that should be taken in account right there. And instead of just, oh well, we're going to go by the book and just throw the book at him and say, well, you got to be suspended. Look at what he was doing first,
exactly,
and then judge him squarely on that instead of going all ape shit on him. But I don't agree with that either. But that's all right. It's going to come around and bite him in the ass later on.
Exactly. Yeah, karma knows where you live. But the thing is, too, like when it comes to the situation, the bigger problem I have too with it is the way the media released this situation. Because when they released it originally, it was like Teddy Bridgewater got suspended for illegal benefits or whatever it was. We all know what that means, especially in today's world. You know, spending money in the wrong ways, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Then they explained themselves, or I think one of Detroit media posts explained themselves about why he did it. So right off the bat, I guarantee you, I myself and everybody else was casting aspersions on Teddy Bridgewater about how can you be so dumb? What did you do that for? You know what I'm saying? Without even knowing the full scale of the situation. And I just wish that, like, if you're going to release something like that, you explain the whole picture of it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, it's bullshit to, like, blame somebody and not know the full details of it. You know, what's that old cliche? You're guilty until proven, or you're innocent until proven guilty? Like, come on, man. Like, we need to know the whole facts before you guys release this crap. Because, like I said, I myself was already judging Teddy Bridgewater. I was like, really, Teddy? What did you do?
I think it was a lot of, like, him breaking the rules. You know, quite literally, he was breaking rules. I don't think that he did was allowed. Like, I think they kind of used that as leverage to say that you could probably recruit kids, you know, to come to your school. Mm-hmm. You know, that you may have some advantages.
Exactly, yeah. He self-reported. He took the audacity to do that.
That other schools may not have themselves as well, right? Yeah. Like, if you're paying for food and housing and all of that other stuff, I mean, other schools are not going out doing that.
Yeah, it's not like you're going and spending on hookers or something. Come on.
Dude.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's what we were all thinking, right? Like, you went to spend on hookers or something, or you bought drugs. I don't know. I mean, like, he's literally helping kids have a better life.
Yeah. No, I got you. I got you.
The hell?
Yeah, that's what I was.
Type of stuff going on over here.
Probably would have been more.
So just an update real quick on the Lions roster moves. The Lions released cornerback Stanley Thomas Oliver today, so he's out. You said they brought in. I don't see any Eli Apple.
No. The Niners signed Eli Apple.
Oh, the Niners signed Eli. Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, that was for the guy. Yeah, like, no, we don't need toast. We already had toast before. We're good. Yeah. But all right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and wrap the show up. We want to thank y'all for Brent. B, shout out to all the people that came on the show.
John Dork, thank you for coming.
Yeah. Even though you trolled the
Brent,
shit out of us.
Steve-O, of course. John Dorn, Robbie, of course, all the time. Robbie. And that's about basically the crew that we had for the comment section. But it's great, always to have you guys.
And today's show was a little bit lengthy. Yeah, and today's show was a little bit lengthy, but we expected that because we had a lot to talk about. And we had some really good constructive debates. I really thank you, Brent. So I want to hear But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So it was good. It was good stuff. We had a lot of good content to talk about. So here's the deal. This is our last Sunday show. So sad face. We are now moving to Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. That will be our new time slot, and you will catch us there. And we will be doing. Right now, we'll be talking more training camp, and we'll probably throw some more NFL stuff going on. Maybe do some list cast of maybe more list of like we did the quarterbacks and all that. We'll think of some ideas, but also too, we're ramping up to the full season. So, we'll be getting ready for our previews, our post games, and all that. We got some good, exciting stuff coming forward. Please like and subscribe to our show. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Mad Hatter. Always good to hear from you. How you feeling about Aaron Rodgers? I heard he threw a pick six his first play. Anyways, but thank you again for y'all coming on. Please like and subscribe to our show. Any final thoughts, y'all, before we wrap this puppy up?
Just remember, we're gonna have people on the show in the next couple, next coming up month, training camp time, and
yes, if you're a Lions fan, or an NFL fan, and you want to hop on and chat with us and banter with us, please, we welcome. This is to be the best time to come on and just enjoy it with us. We welcome anybody and anybody.
Well,
but yeah,
we welcome most people. Just don't be a troller. That's all I got to say.
Just be respectful. If you want to come with points,
yeah.
come with points. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we don't need those just trollers all the
Yes.
time. Anyways,
Right.
Agreed.
But all right, y'all. We're wrapping up the show. No, it's Rodgers, so we'll see. Probably hit some of the ayahuasca. But anyways, as always, fuck the Packers, fuck the Bears, fuck the Vikings. This is the One Ass Cheek and Three Toes show signing off. Y'all have yourself a blessed evening.
Peace.
We will see y'all August 5th, 8 p.m. on Tuesday.
Be
Am I
there,
right?
be square.
Yep, you got it.
Hello.
EST. Peace.
One ass cheek, 3 toes, we coming for the throne. Detroit Lions roar, ain't no stopping our zone. From Ford Field to the streets, we represent the pride. One ass cheek, 3 toes, we on the rise. Gibbs making plays, electrifying the game. J-Mo and Laporta catching bombs, putting points on the name. Penny holding it down, protecting the line. McNair bringing the pressure every single time. One ass cheek, 3 toes, we coming for the throne. Detroit Lions roar, ain't no stopping our zone. From Ford Field to the streets, we represent the pride. One ass cheek, 3 toes, we on the rise. We ain't backing down, ain't no fear in our eyes. We hungry for that win, we reaching for the skies. Detroit Lions forever, that's the battle cry. One ass cheek, 3 toes to the day we die.